Are you ready? Can crush us. It don't really get no better than this the podcast that you're looking for. If you're really heavy into wrestling, hosted by the Mark. Energy that's so amazing. Gotta keep it entertaining. Rep the Can Crusher Nation. Yeah, you know what's going down in the ring. Lights out when you hit a ding ding. Knock them out like boom, bada bing. Hold it down, you can crown me the king. Got a shout out to the Miz and Duke the Dumpster. We choke slamming everybody, power driving, hit them with a face buster. Yeah, this the show you need, and it ain't no need for waiting. Mark, hold it down for the Can Crusher Nation. All about wrestling and keep it entertaining. Can Crushers Wrestling Podcast. Time to break them, let's go. Yeah, Can Crushers. Yeah, Can Crushers. Let's go.
I practiced that. We're a little bit late, but I practiced that.
Warming up your cockles there, bud.
I had to warm up my cockles because my cockles are tired and whooped.
You had a late night or something?
Yeah. Let me start this week. Hello, by the way. I'm Mark the Mark. That's Sir Michael Jenks. Welcome to Can Crushers. So yesterday...
with Mark.
Well, yeah, yesterday was... fix the wife's car, oil change, all that kind of, maintenance stuff. Cool. Mm-hmm. The father tells me, hey, I don't have a keg and I don't have many beers. I said, well, I always bring up something. So I brought up, ready? PBR. I haven't had PBR in a while, so I'm like, PBR. We down that 30, and we're like, all right, well, we need to go home. We need to eat. The dogs have to go outside. Came home, let the dogs out. We're starving. Let's go to the brew bank. Yeah, let's all go to the brew bank. So I go from drinking PBR, which is 4.1, if that, to the brew bank beer, which is anywhere from 6.8 to 95.20. Down a couple of those before my fish tacos come.
Oh man, fish tacos?
Yeah. Down a couple of those before I come. Eat. The family doesn't want to go home yet, and neither does Mark now.
Uh-oh.
Let's go to the relatives, and because they own a restaurant. So we go over to the relatives. Little girl, I don't know, she must have been 10 working. I have no clue who she is. Not a relative. You guys want a menu? Nope. The mom and father are drinking with their 16-year-old. Oh. So we sit down. We have 2 beers there. Again, the 16-year-old's like, I don't want to go home. Neither do I. That was a 45-year-old. The mother was like, we cannot keep our 16-year-old son out and about as we go drinking.
Right.
Somebody's a fucking Debbie Downer. Awesome. Let's go home. So we take the 16-year-old home, and we're like, you know what? It's late enough, for old people our age. It's like 9:30. We're good.
Wait. This was all before 9:30?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, continue.
Yeah, this was all before 9:30. But if you've been on my Facebook page, Kelly was posting something to her friends or whatever, so I made that smart-ass picture.
I was wondering what that was.
Yeah, I'm posting because Kelly's posting, and my idiot friends are like, why are you duck-face drinking and this, that, and the other thing? Go fuck yourself. Well, some other friends saw, Mark is out and about, and he didn't call us. So we had just gotten home from the whole 9:30 experience. Somebody calls me, you're out? No, not anymore. We're home on the couch. Well, we're going to XYZ's. Kelly's like, come on, because you're a child. You want to go right now. Sure as shit, run back upstairs, change again, head down to the other bar. There's a host of people down there. It's open mic. And Mark starts drinking, and Mark starts singing. We got home at 1:30.
What were we singing?
Sweet Caroline, some Piano Man, and then it completely goes the other way to like Rockstar and anything heavy. They wouldn't play Judas, but
They wouldn't play Judas? That's
I don't
terrible.
think they knew how to play Judas, by the way.
Yeah. Maybe that's fair.
Yeah.
Fair point.
So that was my yesterday. I ended up drinking for 12 hours again. Pulling off.
Wow.
Yeah. But it wasn't like pounding them. It was just a consistent drink.
Right.
Until after 9:30, and then it was college party time again once we got rid of the kids. And it was like, let's go!
See, that's the worst part, though, when you take that break and then you try to restart after that.
Yeah.
That's what usually gets me, because I usually am dead after that.
Yeah.
So
I'm the other way. I'm the other way. We took that little half an hour break, and I literally turned into, I don't know, Michael Spence or, something. Not me.
Wait, the shirt stayed on, right?
Shirt stayed on, and I wasn't making out with any other 45-year-old women or anything.
And you weren't singing Hulkamania?
Yeah.
Real American
from Canada.
People wouldn't take off their shirt. Yeah.
Yeah. But the rest of my week was fairly up and down. Literally up and down. I want to apologize. Jenks will get into it too, because we are going to shit on WWE 2K22. Lost everything. I had to re-download shit. The day that I was setting up the brackets, that update came through and nothing was there. Like, it just erased everything. Your corrupt file. And I'm like, ugh.
That happened to me a couple updates ago. Actually, the first update, because I downloaded a bunch of arenas. I'm like, this is great. There's like Starcade and all of this stuff. And then the update came through, wiped it all clean. And they're corrupted. You can't re-download them.
No.
It will not let you re-download them. So.
Nope.
So now what are you going to do? Do you have a game plan? Because that happened, Tuesday, Wednesday, something like that?
Yeah. Do I have a game plan? Yes. Me and Soup, my cousin, was it Wednesday I was bitching to you? I think Thursday then, after I calmed down and was like, all right, we have to get back on this horse. We legitimately, because he had the same issue happen on his, like everything was gone. So we legitimately walked through, and if I would have did it by myself, I would have been so pissed off. But he had his headphones on in Pittsburgh. I had my headphones on here. We're just like, what do you think of this one? What do you think of this one? Oh, look at how stupid this one is. It made it easier to download some more people instead of just like, I don't want to download this one again, Jesus. But we just talked through it. So we spent a good, 4 or 5 hours just downloading stuff and, whatever. And then, I made sure it was all there again the next day. Set up the brackets. And hopefully I'm going to run them today. Hopefully.
Well, hopefully. Because I think Can Crusher Nation is on the edge of their seats waiting for this to happen.
I'm sure they are. I'm sure. They want to know who's going to take on Dolph Ziggler in the heavyweight championship match.
And we want to know who's staying on Live. We need to know more.
I know. Also, my brother-in-law is in the midst of creating the Can Crusher championship belt.
Nice.
Yeah. I told him, I said, you got to make sure you do a million hashtags so it's all over the place. He's like, all right. I gave him full reign. He's like, do you care if I create a belt? He's like, you always said you wanted one. Fuck no. I'm fighting with the game. I don't have time to create a belt.
So I can't wait to see this pop up in my downloads for a championship. But
hopefully today. Just
hopefully,
FYI.
I'll have to keep an eye out for it, because I was going to try to create one, but I have no idea what I'm doing with uploads on that thing. So
right. I'm the same
not
way.
that technically sound. So I'm like, I'm not uploading shit. So I'll figure it out. Somebody else can do it or something. So I'm hoping to stumble across it, because I need to run a tournament or something for the Can Crushers on my end.
See?
Just
yeah.
But so
you can run, whatever. We'll knock it out of the ballpark.
Yeah, for sure.
Other than that, Monday was a little horrible because both my interviews had to cancel and or reschedule. Well, the one rescheduled was Amber Rodriguez. I don't know if you listened to it yet, but man, one, she's crazy as shit. 2, she's a sociopath because she puts her milk in first before she eats her cereal.
Oh my god. What is happening?
Right?
What is happening to this world? All right.
These are all, like, they now know, Jenks, like, they say, when are we getting to the cereal question? Are you fucking kidding me? Why is this the biggest thing on Can Crushers? Why do we have to know about it? People know about this cereal question. It's really pissing me off now.
It's a great question.
It
I
is.
mean, you got to hype the question up. You have to prepare an answer.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
But you know, these sociopaths running around the world. I don't know. But she actually, we spent a little time afterwards as well. Here comes the fourth wall. What a sweetheart. All about, you know, family first and her child and everything. Yeah, I can't wait to see her when she comes around to our neck of the woods. And let me just say, as she said on the podcast, make sure you subscribe to Paramount Plus because she'll probably be ending up on that someplace.
Oh.
Maybe in Yellowstone. Maybe in... What's the other one on there? 1843 or something like that?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
I'll have to...
Or something else that's going to be on Paramount Plus.
Yeah, I know.
That we can't say, because she can't say yet, but we can sure as shit insinuate.
It could be soon, could be not. Who knows?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. Just keep an eye out.
Yeah.
Fellow actress.
Tessa's going to be there, if anybody else. So
Yeah. Exactly.
Raylan's there.
Yeah.
So that's my week. It went from okay to shitty to I'm going to hang myself in the basement because I lost WWE 2K to being a frat boy again.
But you needed that. You needed that at the end of the week.
I did need that frat boy thing. Let me tell you, for not really dancing or doing a lot of jucking and jiving, my ankles are killing me today,
dude.
This after morning, whatever it is.
You good over there? I think your ankle pain has gone upward.
Yeah, I know.
It's messing with your entire body. Yeah, those shuck and drives, man, they will get you out of nowhere if you're not careful.
I know.
I've done it. I've busted plenty of moves at weddings, and I'll tell you, the next week afterwards, I do not feel great. Done. I'm just hobbling about, but oh man. But you need it. You need to get out there.
It was great. In the family, you know, for the first 3/4 of the night, it was nice having the family out, and then, you know, get rid of the sun. And Kelly then did stop drinking because she knew, oh boy, I need to drive this piece of shit home later on.
But it was a nice day out, so that's what counts.
It was.
Yeah.
And the oil's changed in the car, and tires are rotated, and stuff like that. Yeah.
Perfect.
Due diligence. All right, you. Because that was about 10 minutes too much about me.
Well, we had to know about this excursion last night. Let's see. This week, you know, uneventful. We did have the, for those following either on 40 or Dash or here, the infamous line of questioning from Dan Mucci did occur with Kimberly, the girlfriend. That happened last night. So that was my night last night.
Oh, God.
We went to dinner with the Mucci's and, you know, a lot of great questions. She passed the test, apparently. There's also a drawing portion of the test that I did not know about.
Drawing portion?
Let's describe this. So he asked his questions. He went through it all. Then he bought a handy dandy notebook, and legit, it's a Blue's Clues handy dandy notebook, complete with crayon.
Of course it is.
But this handy dandy notebook has a dry erase board on the back of it, and it comes with a dry erase marker. So he drew a stick figure and asked her to guess who it was.
Who was it?
And I can't remember who she guessed. I think she guessed somebody. And he goes, no, it's Joe Biden. And it didn't make any sense because it was a stick figure that did not look anything like Joe Biden or any human being that's ever existed in the history of the earth. So I guess it was subjective at that point. But
I thought he'd say Jack Hanahan.
No, see, that would have been good. But she doesn't know Jack Hanahan that well.
Yet.
Yet. Oh, she will. But I'm pretty sure she had she did have a ton of fun with them. Not pretty sure. She did have a ton of fun with them. Did talking to Moochie's wife, Becca. It was a good time all around. Dan was a little confused because he was the only one drinking. which was hilarious in its own right. Just to see his face, but it was a good night. So
wow,
yeah.
First of all, him being confused is nothing new.
Nothing new. I
Right.
think he thought I was going to have a beer, but I haven't been to that point with her yet that she's seen me a slobbering mess or falling asleep drinking. So, yeah, we're putting that off as long as possible, I think.
But you haven't had one beer around her yet?
No, not yet.
What the hell? Now you have to get your big boy pants. I'm going to be old man dad. Come on.
Do it. Well, here's the thing. I'm not nervous around her, and I'm very relaxed. So I don't need a beer.
I'm not saying that you need to do it because
I get it.
You have mental issues or anything.
Well, now
baggage. No, we do.
Right, but to your point, it's just something I don't think about when I'm around her or anything like that. I just don't think about cracking open a beer. So, did I think about getting one last night after he did? Yeah, kind of. And I'm like, whatever.
Maybe next time.
Maybe next time.
Yeah. And it's okay. It is.
Yeah.
I'm just busting your ass. It's really okay. That's actually really cool. Hey, I had a drink to meet Kelly. No, I'm kidding. God, she's gonna be down in 30 seconds for that. I'm kidding. But no, it's a good thing. Does she partake in beverages as well? And that's what I was gonna say. You don't need to be a sloppy mess. You can have one.
Right. Right, and she's told me as much. But to your point, I think what's also playing into that is she doesn't drink as often. She's openly mixed. She's a lightweight, so she has two. She's down.
That's Kelly.
She's down and out.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, I get that. So I think my mind's like, let's not push it right now. But there's times she lives right down the road from one of my favorite breweries up here in parts unknown. So I literally drive past this place every time to go see her at her apartment, and I'm like, I really want to go. I really want to go there. Exactly, one of these days. So it's gonna happen eventually, and it's gonna be one of the nights that I spend the night down there. So
yeah,
it'll be good. So yeah, it just hasn't happened yet, and it's fine. She knows I drink. She doesn't know the extent. I don't drink that much, but
now you make it sound like you make it sound like you're, I don't know, Boxcar Willie drinking out of a paper bag or something every night. Jesus.
But no, like when I drink, I can have a lot and be fine. But it's just when I don't, and it can go for long periods of time. So it's what it is.
Touche. I hear you.
So, go ahead.
So when I'm on the wagon, look out. You don't know that I'm on the wagon, but when I take that break, though, like, I'm not saying I drank a ton last night, but enough that a 45-year-old has a little bit of a headache this morning. And my cockles were not warm right off the bat.
That's fair. I will tell you, I took about 6 weeks this year that I didn't drink because with the knee injury, I had to take medicine for that to help clear the bursitis up. So I was like, I don't know if I can drink with this. So I just stopped. And then after that, it was every other week was like, I don't feel like one right now.
And that's probably a good thing.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think that's part of the reason too. It's just not sure with the knee. I don't want to be too over the top and then not being able to walk or anything like that. So, but yeah, outside of my deep drinking issues that I currently have, this week has been pretty standard, not too crazy, not too out of control. The family's doing good. I went off the wall and actually built this dry erase board in my office that I wrote every project I want to do to my house on. And I want to turn it into a timeline view. Yeah, I got crazy this week because I was just thinking about everything I want to do in springtime and summertime and fall time, and I'm like, I just have to write it down because I will always forget what I want to do until I get around to looking at it, and I'm like, I want to do that, and then I forget about it again. So I had to write it down on this dry erase board. So it's starting to look like a beautiful mind over here.
Nice.
So that's kind of been my week, is just planning out things I want to do, projects I want to do around the house and all that, so I can get them done. But yeah, that's been the extent of my week. It has not been anything too crazy this week. Oh, my 2K shit still pisses me off, but I can't do anything about that.
Yeah. What I want to do with 2K is, but I'm scared because I have the $100 package or whatever. I don't want to take it off of the PlayStation and then re-download it because I'm worried I won't get the $100 package back. I'll get the game, but then I'll lose Hall and Nash and the NWO stuff, and you can't buy that with credits on the game, where you can buy all the other unlockable people. If you play enough, you can get those people. You can't get the NWO stuff, and I'm like, mother. So I don't know. The only thing for a while that I had saved on there was my Rise character. Everything else was deleted. And it still said, your fucking game's corrupt. And it said that because it was mocking me. Your fucking game is corrupt. And I'm like, I know it's corrupt. But I didn't want to stop my Rise because I'm so far into that. Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, so I've gone through the entire NXT storylines, I believe, with my Rise.
Did you start as a dude or a chick? And I went clearly sexist. I'm sorry to everybody across the board there.
I was a male.
Good call.
I started as a male. I made it as ridiculous as possible. The guy's named The Funk, so that's kind of where my guy's at. But
nice.
So he's morphed away from it. But yeah, I went through the entire storyline in NXT. I don't know what you've done yet, but I just moved to Smack.
I went through most of NXT, and they kicked me over to, I got my option to go to SmackDown or Raw, so I went to SmackDown. I have most of SmackDown's done, and I'm a female. Okay. I have most of SmackDown's done. I think there's like 2 more that I have to do, and then clearly I'm going to get shipped back to Raw, or maybe back down to NXT to finish off stuff. And I also have ones at the PC, because I just found out that you can actually see how far your story is along with one of those tabs in there. I still have stuff in the PC that I didn't finish. They're going to cut me and send me back down to the PC or something? I don't know.
Yeah, how are you going to do that? I don't think I finished all the PC stuff.
Yeah. I saw some storyline online, and we'll get to real wrestling for the love of God. We really will. Yeah. I saw some storyline online. Did you fight Hogan yet?
Yeah.
Was it? I don't want to know everything, but was it a good story?
It kind of. I mean, it wasn't a great story. I will say this: you do attack him to kind of kick off the story, and you have to be a heel to get the story. So that's the big thing. So as a middle, you have to be a heel to kick off the story with Hogan. But it was a decent one. It was a standard, quick 3-match type of one. You do have an option to do a tag match instead of just Hogan one-on-one. I went Hogan one-on-one because I just wanted to beat up Hulk Hogan.
Right.
And say that it beat the Immortal. So, yeah. So I enjoyed the fact that I could beat up Hogan in the storyline. I mean, storyline was what it was.
Yeah.
It was weird. The other players in the storyline, I'll say this, the other player in the storyline as in character did not make sense to me, but it is what it is for what they did. But you have to be on the NXT storyline to do it.
Okay. And you have to be a male.
Male. Yeah,
and a male.
Yeah, so. You can't fight Hogan as a female.
No. I've had my big legend that I've been having a lot with was Trish Stratus, and it's been across NXT and SmackDown. She's always just there, so I'm like, I want to beat. And I have not faced Charlotte, Becky, Sasha, or Bayley yet at all.
Really?
Not at all. They must all be on Raw.
I'm surprised by that.
Yeah, Asuka's a bitch though. Asuka's a bitch. She's on SmackDown.
Trying to think, I've fought in Gargano, Balor, pretty much the entire locker room. Dijakovic's on there in story mode.
Yeah, you can't be him though. You have to be him as Mace or T-Bar or Stupid or whatever his name is. Yeah.
Yeah, you can only beat him in the game as Mason T-Boy, but if you go into My Rise, he's Dijakovic.
Yeah.
And it pisses me off because I'm like, I want to play Dijakovic. Give me that option.
No.
No.
The more and more we get...
it comes into
go ahead.
The DLC, maybe. I'm hoping the DLC opens it up, but...
Yeah, first DLC comes out at the end of April.
Yeah.
So...
I'm looking forward to that Yokozuna one.
I am too. I really
that's gonna
am.
be the good one.
I really am.
Yeah.
All right. We're going to take a break. We're going to tell you about Collar and Elbow. We're going to reset. We're going to come back, talk briefly on AEW, and then do our deep dive into WWE and WrestleMania, because WrestleMania is Saturday, guys. Do you believe?
Unreal.
Right? Saturday. We have thoughts, we have prayers, we have hopes, we have dreams, and we'll get there. Take a shot. Take a couple for me, because holy Christ. But first,
he's not going to be taking any for a while.
No. Collar and Elbow hats, hoodies, tees, all the cool stuff that Al Snow and the homeboys at Collar and Elbow have. Use our promo code CANCRUSHERS, all one word, capital C and CAN, capital C and Crushers, you save 10%. Jenks, we're on other places too. Spotify, iHeartRadio, Stitcher, all those.
Farmers only.
Farmers
it's all good.
Right?
Gluten-free singles, guys. We're on it.
Yeah. Subscribe, give us ratings, tell us how good we are. Still didn't get to see that rating of, hey, Mark made me do this or something like that. Clearly my mind is not with it today.
You got this. Pull it together. We'll get you together in the next part.
All right. Social medias is Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. All of it's at CanCrusher69. And send us an email, cancrusher69@gmail.com. I'm going to get brought back around, and Al Snow is going to tell you about Collar and Elbow, and then Jenks is going to lead the way into the promised land. I don't fucking know what we're doing. Into the promised land of AEW.
Wrestling. A love and a passion we all share. I've started a wrestling brand. The wrestling brand. A brand founded on the aspects of wrestling. Two entities working together to create a product that connect emotionally for people everywhere. Collar and Elbow is the brand. Passion and love for wrestling is the drive. I am Al Snow, and this is Collar and Elbow, the wrestling brand.
This is Amber Rodriguez, the Plague Doctor, the Mad Esthetician, and Can Crushers podcast just got perfect like me.
And welcome back to Can Crushers Wrestling Podcast. I'm Mark the Mark. That's Sir Michael Jenks. I don't know if you heard that in the beginning, because we kind of were like down in the dumps, but I got rejuvenized. I put his stuff in. I have a pop in front of me. And I remembered last week that I watched the Crockett Cup. I don't know how I forgot, but I remembered. And it was a great pay-per-view. I really liked everything they did. Again, if you guys have not watched it, the whole bundle is like $40 on Fight. You can get it. You can own it for ever and a day. You'll get both nights, but some great matches that second night. I really liked the Crimson against Jax Dane match. Pretty sure you guys know that Jax Dane is now the new national champion.
Yeah.
But the Aldis Cardona match, and as of right now, it's on the short list of matches of the year. It may get bumped fast, and I hate to say it like that because AEW. Let's just boom. But this is going to be hard to top for NWA. There's a great story coming out of it. Cardona is still your champ. Chelsea gets involved. The other Cardonas get involved. Mickey James is involved. Mm-hmm. This is building up for a while. So if you've not watched the Crockett Cup, I don't want to give any more spoilers besides the Briscoes one, but once you saw them in the bracket, you knew.
Yeah. That was what was interesting about that, because I saw Crockett Cup, I saw what happened with the whole Cardona, all this thing, but then it carried over to Impact, where, what was it, Cardona hit Radio Silence on Vicky. So this is far from over. Now, I thought I saw somewhere they announced the mixed tag match, but did they? Yet I may be mistaken on that, but I thought they announced it for the next upcoming pay-per-view.
Yeah, it's Impact pay-per-view.
Yeah,
it's exactly. Not NWA, because NWA's pay-per-view isn't another 6 months or something like that. Yeah. They really are far off, but yeah, it's going to happen on Impact. So that makes me want to buy it. just because they are carrying it over. So good for them if they're going to actually scoop up and work together. I think it's the right thing because NWA needs a little bit more. People have to remember the impacts on TV, even though you don't get it. I think if they both would combine to form something different or just take the NWA name, I think you'd get a TV brand then. And that's what I'm still hoping for both of them.
Well, and they had that relationship for a long time when TNA first started out. It was NWA TNA, and they were fighting over the NWA title. So I think it works out best for both of them. They can run Impact and Power. They can do it all. I just wish I would hope that they do it too and get on a better network.
Exactly.
Which
what is that?
The dog is playing with her toy that makes noise. So.
I hate those things, by the way. I know exactly what toy it is. The dogs used to have those ones.
Yeah.
They do not anymore because you go have that going off at like 2 o'clock in the morning. Your shit gets scared real quick because you think aliens are coming in or something.
I'm good in the fact that she just passes out at night, so I don't have to worry about it at 2 o'clock in the morning. But if I'm in a meeting or on doing a podcast, she'll start playing with that damn toy. Without fail.
Yeah, of course.
But back to what I was saying. I'm hoping that, and there she goes with that. But I'm hoping that they get on, because Fight Network, I do now get on mine. I think I talked about it before, but they are showing not only TNA stuff, but they're showing NWA stuff as well.
Yeah.
And it seems to be on a rotation. So I'm hoping that maybe something comes of that. It's not more of a step up for TNA Impact, but I'm hoping we get more action on that. But I am enjoying the yearly pay-per-views that seem to be on repeat on the Impact Network as well. So
yeah, that's really cool. I have watched some of those. I don't know. Is it me or do I feel like there's something left out that we didn't talk about this week or last night or something?
So I don't know if wrestling related, but something took a toll on me this week that I didn't bring up. But it's not wrestling related. I'm recovering. So my favorite band is the Foo Fighters, and their drummer passed away Friday night. And that has just thrown me for a loop these past 2 days. But so if anybody knows me, I'm all about Foo Fighters, and I'm just all about it. I love everything about them. That just hit me hard Friday night, but I don't think that's what you were talking about.
No, but
I know
have you seen Dave Grohl since any of this?
No, he's been buried, probably just hiding. Like I can't imagine he's handling this well.
That's what I mean. And I didn't mean it jokingly, like you actually physically seeing him, because right. I know. Yeah, all right, go ahead.
No, I get what you're saying. Yeah, he's been. I understand it. I don't know who found Taylor Hawkins, but that had just been. I think that's rocked the entire musical world. Just because they had literally just been inducted last year. So I think it's a shock to everybody. And unfortunately, they did find a lot of substances in the system. So it appears going down the route of many that have died too young in the industry of rock. So
that's sad.
That is sad. Yep.
But you're right. That it wasn't what I was referencing, but because there's one that's even. I'm not saying death is. I'm not even making a joke of this. I'm just moving along. This idiot is an idiot. Go ahead. No,
you're good. You're good. What else are you thinking now?
Oh, what you told me.
Oh, fair enough. But yeah, so what I told you. Oh, now you got me questioning.
Ketchup.
Oh, God damn it. See, now I went totally down the sappy route, but yeah. So Moochie eats ketchup with a steak, and he has completely lost a couple pegs on me.
A couple?
I've lost respect a little bit for him after that discovery, but that hurt.
Yeah.
That hurt a lot.
Mutant.
And it was very good steak. It had a lot of seasoning. It was juicy. It was perfect, and he just dumped it in ketchup, and I'm like, what is wrong with you?
All right. Shaking it off. Taylor Swift. What?
Shake it off.
Shake it
Let's
off.
go to wrestling.
Yeah.
We're a wrestling podcast.
We are.
We haven't talked wrestling yet.
35 minutes in.
Minutes in.
Dynamite. What a way to start. Punk and Dax. The only thing is, they showed the Ass Boys way too soon. Because I saw them right off the bat. I'm like, mother trucker, they're going to do something during this. And essentially, they didn't do a lot. They were just there. They could have came out at the end or halfway through the match. They didn't need to be around the whole damn match. Because that took some of my distraction away from the match. So then I had to rewatch the match because that was a fucking phenomenal match.
Oh, my God. How about Dax stepping it up?
Yeah.
And to be honest, not that surprising. You see it on his social media, but you've seen it in just who he is. He is a student of the game, and that's what came through. And my God, what a fantastic match. It almost felt like, to me, more a tribute to Bret Hart. Just the way both of these guys both love and respect him, it just felt, it had that aura to it. You know what I mean?
See, I went farther back. Since he is part of a tag team, I thought that he was Bobby Eaton going against, the whole Midnight Express thing. I thought he was Bobby Eaton going against, maybe Dusty or, somebody like that. That's what I put. I'm like, and you've seen Bobby Eaton have those matches where Condrey or Sweet Stan Lane were on the outside, but Eaton would just control the match, and, the babyface actually ended up winning, but it had great matches. That's where I put it. But I do see the Bret Hart one. Yeah.
So, and now that you say that, I think you're right on the aspect of almost at that psychological, deeper level. That's where you see Bobby Eaton. Some of the action in the match led to Bret Hart, but the ring psychology, things going on in the match, the things that were happening, you're right, it was more Bobby Eaton. Now that you say that, and now I'm going to have to rewatch that this afternoon, I think, because I got to see that from that element with that filter on it. You know what I mean? Because this is what we love.
Yeah,
we love these matches where we can apply different filters to it, and you take away a different meaning every time you watch it. And this was a perfect example of that. Am I saying it's match of the year? I'm not saying that. It was a great match, though, and I'm not going to discredit either of these two from what they did in it. It's one of those matches that you can enjoy watching over and over again without fail.
It really is. And either way, if Punk, Punk did win, but if Dax would have won this, I wouldn't have been, Punk is old. No,
exactly.
This is either one could have won this match. Like, it was, get ready. It was a real contest of wrestling, like back in the 30s. This was,
Yep.
All right, you understand what I mean. It wasn't scripted already. Yeah,
it wasn't scripted. It was called in the ring. It was well executed.
Yes.
Yeah.
Do I want to see Dax possibly someday get a singles run? Hell yeah, now. Like, I think this put Dax as a singles competitor for me. It opened up my eyes a little bit more. I knew he's great. I really did. I know what he can do in the ring. I know all that. I know that his tag team. But seeing him work this fluently and just doing all of that, not that I want FTR broken up, but if it ever happens, I think Dax can carry himself perfectly.
Yeah, I think what you could see, though, is, even if Cash was just supportive and said, I'll move into a manager role to push you up, I would love to see Dax take that run. Cash could be the manager. Dax can run with it. It would be a match made in heaven, because you don't see Cash in these situations that often. It's usually Dax is the one getting the singles matches and pushing it. So I want that now. I just want that because he can carry the ring. I think he proved, and you can make any argument you want. Oh, Punk's an older guy, whatever. No, it's two professional wrestlers that know what they're doing in the ring, and they told a fantastic story to get it over the top and have a great opening contest on Dynamite, and it was beautifully done. This was expertly done. So
next up was the whole tornado match, which went all over the place again. Yeah. I don't know. I almost, and I know the people were different essentially, but the people were not different. They were just on different sides. I felt like we just watched this, though. I'm like, I just saw this on the pay-per-view, and it was so much better, and now...
I I am under the impression this match only happened so Jeff Hardy could jump off the side of a wall.
Yep. That was my note. That was my next note.
Did I enjoy him jumping off the side of the wall? Yeah, because I'm a sucker for this kind of demolition derby bullshit. But at the same time, that was the whole story told in this match. I think now it's just it should, hopefully, end the whole AFO, now the Andrade family office, and the Hardy breakup, and just move Matt and Jeff on to do something else.
I hope so.
Will it?
No.
I don't know. I feel like we're going to get more out of Private Party and the Hardys here going forward.
Yeah, because they really never had their blow-off match of them turning on Hardy.
Exactly. So I think that's still to come, but I feel like we're going to hopefully start leaning away from it. And congrats to Jeff for doing another death-defying leap off the side of a wall, and not being old and being able to walk away.
Right?
He's 44 years old, Mark. Do you think he can do that without injury?
Could you?
No, I'm 34. I can't even fucking do that. I would not even try.
Yeah, no. I hate jumping 3 feet off of a garbage truck.
I feel like I'm going to break my leg if I'm jumping even 2 feet.
Yeah.
So
Not happening. I mean, it's a mindset, I'd have to imagine. I mean, come on. This has been out there for years now, but it's got to be a mindset to do it. And I don't think I am in the right mind to say, I'm going to throw myself off a fucking building. No.
Right. I think it's you compartmentalize, or you put yourself in a different, disassociate, I think is one thing that they say it is. Like you just put yourself, you're impervious to pain at that point. You're in a different headspace, you're in your happy place, and you're just jumping for joy, or just getting beat the shit out of. I don't know, but
I'm not impervious to pain sitting right now, so...
I know, I keep moving in my chair. I'm like worried you're going to catch the squeaks on Can Crushers there, but...
No, it's all right.
Yeah.
Next thing that I want to bring up is Mox and Bryan Danielson just beat the piss out of the Varsity Blondes, which, okay, we understand that. The whole story, though, to me, was Julia just sitting there the whole match during the promo. I didn't know the boys were still out there during the promo. They were just dead alongside the ring. I thought they had left Julia just to sit there until they went to commercial, and I saw, I believe it was Griff getting up, but whatever.
Yeah.
Whomever it was. I'm looking at this a different way now.
How are you looking at it?
Is she going to get tough enough and join Mox and Danielson? She's teased on 2 different factions besides the faction she's with now.
So can I say I laughed when Regal just walked past her like there was nothing? I was like, Regal looked at her.
It was cat food sitting on your steps. Just walk by it.
Wait, he was disdained. He looked disdained at first, and then he just walked past. And I laughed. But could she join them? Maybe. I don't know. We have not seen Julia Hart, I guess, unless you watch like Dark and Elevation and all that. We haven't seen Julia Hart wrestle that often.
No.
So I don't know what her skill level is, but she could be on the same level of Wheeler Yuta, where she just needs that one match to take her to the limit and put her on that next level. And then you're like, oh, I could see that happening. I could see that for shit. But let me ask you this, Mark. Do you see anybody on the current AEW roster that would fit the Blackpool Combat Club or no? Which, by the way, great name.
Great,
name.
Great name.
AEW.
Do you mean women-wise or
women-wise? Yeah, women-wise.
Layla.
Yeah, I could see that. But does she really need them at this point? Because I feel like what they're trying to do is bring that out of them, like with Yuta. Because I think Yuta's going to join at some point, and they're bringing out that aggression and that anger and that fight in him. So do you see anybody that could tote that flag, if you will?
I don't know.
No.
Probably not. Yeah, probably in my headspace right now as I'm just shuffling through, and I'm not saying this mean the mid-card lineup, meaning Statlander, she's doing her own thing, turning herself into this, and Red Velvet. I mean, I'm trying to think of some of the bigger ones that are mid-card, and I don't see that. Do you have a thought?
Well, now, I didn't have one until you said a certain name, and you said Statlander. And here's why now I'm thinking Statlander. she has had this metamorphosis of sorts where she's changing her presentation, her style, not vibrant colors, straight black, more serious. I could see an issue with the Best Friends and the Blackpool Combat Club where we see the transition of Yuta and Statlander over to this group. Because think about it. Yuta, I wouldn't buy as a big, how you do.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, OC brought him in, but Trent has never really liked him. Statlander's been with that group for a very long time now. If they take Statlander and metamorphose her into one of these badasses, that's something to fight over.
Yeah.
Badasses. I know, I couldn't think of a better word, but just like into one of these badasses, then I could see that. And Statlander can wrestle. It's not like he can't.
Yeah.
So I think that could be the perfect transition too.
Yeah, I could if you're gonna pour Drano down my throat and make me pick somebody. I don't know why I said that, but yes, where the fuck did that even come from?
I won't even make you do that on this one.
Okay, but I would see Statlander. Yeah, wow,
yeah.
Shit, that's running through my head right now.
Man, you're going off the deep end here.
I just want to get
the Black Mist? What happened last night?
I don't. Maybe I got the Black Mist. Yeah, I really want to get to the tournaments. I want to see who our Can Crusher champion's going to be. Damn it!
I get it. We'll get you there. Mark.
Yeah, more on that.
Yeah.
MJF. Do we have to say this every week, or do we want to say this? It's just perfect.
It's perfect every time he talks. There's nothing more we could say. He's just perfect at what he does.
He's not releasing Wardlow. He's just gonna put him on the shelf. Here you go.
Yeah.
So
I own you. Called him Pig too, which I thought was really interesting.
Yeah.
But oh man,
how long's Wardlow sit on the shelf? It's got to be a couple weeks. It's got to be
at least.
Yeah.
I'm thinking we're going end of April.
Okay.
You get him back for Double or Nothing.
So a month. How do we get him back? How does MJF? Because MJF's got to bring him back.
Does he though?
Do we have a buyout of?
Well, I don't know if it's a buyout, but that CM Punk match is now looming because that's going to happen again.
Yeah.
You don't bring up Punk without that. You don't think Wardlow wouldn't just show up during that match? Or he wouldn't show up?
At least buy a ticket. At least buy a ticket for front row for one match.
Something like that?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think he would. Oh my God. Did they not? He's from Pittsburgh, right?
Yeah.
What's on 420?
Well, he's not from Pittsburgh. He started wrestling at IWC in Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
He's from Cleveland.
But let's go back. Pittsburgh's on 420.
Yeah. Which I still might pull the trigger and just go and say screw it and take the next day off of work.
Yeah. I debated that too, but I'm taking the weekend off. That weekend. The weekend before.
Oh, but, you always get the weekend off, but never. Go ahead.
I know. No, I'm taking Friday and Monday off, so I'm taking a 4-day weekend. Could he show up in the Pittsburgh show? I mean, the deep-rooted connection there. They love him in Pittsburgh, obviously. I know he's from Cleveland, but could they say, could he buy a ticket to the Pittsburgh show? And that's where him and Punk are going to be. If MJF and Punk are in Pittsburgh,
look the fuck out.
Yeah. But could that happen? Is that where you buy the ticket, or is that where you bring back or find a way to get Wardlow back into it?
Right. I'm all for it. This has me my mindless going. I'm like, how do you bring him back? All right. So he buys a ticket. So he's just a fan. Right. How does he get in the ring? Because he's not working for anybody, or does he, when he jumps the barrier, is it, hey, by the way, Tony Khan has signed me now, and he's going to send you $100,000 to get out of the contract or whatever. I now got a contract. Can he have two contracts? Essentially.
Well, if they're not in contrast to each other, I feel like he could. He could run parallel contract.
Right. I don't know. It's a great story.
It's a fantastic story, and I feel like it's going to be, I think, the linchpin if this were to transpire the way we're saying it. So, Tony Khan, if listen up, you would have Sean Spears be the instigator on the outside with him. That brings him into the ringside area.
Oh, for sure. Because there has to be a match. There's got to be that match between Spears and Wardlow before Wardlow gets his hands on MJF. Like a death match.
Yeah, of course. So I think the story's there. So again, Tony Khan, pay us for these ideas, but it's there. That's how we're going to get you there. We'll get you there, but
slow but sure, we'll get you there.
Slow but sure, we'll get you there.
Other things quickly because we want to spend a big portion for WWE. Sammy and Ty. In your boy Huskus, I thought that was fucking fantastic. Hey, we've done more to that than you know. Look at the picture of Ty's ass on it, which I'd be kissing that belt then.
Yeah. Did you see the picture that followed up with it?
Yep.
Oh my God.
I did.
Good Lord.
I know.
They weren't lying. But yeah, so I just fucking hate Huskus, but yeah.
You too.
I'm done with Huskus, but anyways, yeah, I mean, it was a great segment. We know Sammy's going to hang around the TNT title picture longer. Paige and Ty are going to happen at some point. When? I have no idea, but it'll be interesting to see how that all transpires.
I think we're going to get the mixed tag match first.
Yeah, that would be a proper introduction for her to get into the ring in that.
Yeah.
Give her limited action, but get her that exposure.
Yeah, and I hate to say it, Ty takes the loss.
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Well, they're not gonna take Sammy down.
No.
So
no, sorry, Ty. I love you, but you're there for the L's.
Exactly. It's probably gonna be a submission with Paige.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. We get Thunder Rosa's first competitor in Nyla Rose, and I think you're upset about it. I think it's great because they have a huge history. Like they've wrestled on the Indies before, so they're going to be able to put on a good match.
I don't want to. I'm not upset at the match. Don't get me wrong on that. I want to see that match. I was upset at the segment.
Oh, the segment was horse shit.
Because your first segment as champion, you don't even let Thunder get 2 words out. That was stupid and bullshit. I just have problems with that whole segment, but I know we're going quick, but I just have problems with the way that segment went down. Give her at least some time to do a promo, but
let her talk and then excuse me, not
exactly.
Yeah, and then beat down. By the way, if you guys have not watched Thunder Rosa eating tacos on YouTube, my God, when I had moments this week. I have binge watched everything of Thunder Rosa's vlogs, and it was because I found one with her and Danhausen eating tacos in San Antonio. Jesus Christ, they're hilarious. Throw Danhausen in, and then they take him to the Alamo so he can do his Pee Wee Herman dance. Watch those. They're great. They're great. The Thunder Rosa is a trucker. She should be on our show just swearing as much as she does.
Let's get her on here.
Chef's kiss, as you would say.
How do we get her here?
Yeah. Other things, the Jericho Society match, it did what I guess it needed to do. It shouldn't have been the main event of the night.
No, I think if they should have put Lethal and Cole as the main event, to be honest.
And that's why I saved that to talk about, essentially. That was a great match, too.
That was really good.
I hope we get more Lethal.
Behind that.
Yeah, there's a lot of history behind that.
Yeah. I hope we do, too. I'm kind of disappointed we don't get more of him. But, take what we can get because he's so good at it. But such a good match. God damn. God damn. It's a good match. I just want more Lethal. I don't know how you get him into the fold more, though. I just don't. Where's that in for him?
He's riding solo, essentially by himself right now. Do we need to get him into a group or something, so he's showcased more. But then I'm always one, all right, we have a million groups. I'm going to play the other side. Can we have a couple people running solo? I don't know. At least if he's pushed a little bit more. And again, where the fuck's Miro?
Yeah.
I want him back now, too. Is Miro somebody that joins Mox and Danielson?
Well, that might not be a bad move because they're not talking about him. We haven't heard from him yet. I feel like Regal does have something else up his sleeve. He's not giving everything away.
No.
Regal wouldn't. He's conniving, which is great. So maybe it is. Maybe they have Miro as their beast because in a typical group, you always have that monster in your back pocket, right?
Yep.
So maybe that's Miro. Maybe that's to come.
Transitioning over to Rampage, Jenks, there was so much on Rampage this week, but we didn't get anything out of it, I felt. Like, there was a ton of stuff jammed in this hour, but it didn't, I don't want to say it didn't forward anything, it just trickled things. Because here's this, oh, we gotta go do this, here's Fuego, oh, here we gotta go to Red Dragon, here's that. I want 3 matches in 2. I really want it to be like us booking GM on 2K. 3 matches and 2 promos because notes wise, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 things, and they were all quick.
Yeah.
Even the QT thing with Hook could have been longer, and I would have been okay with it. Why even have that then if you can't give that enough time?
Exactly. How do you get it to... They try to jam pack so much in 1 hour, and I understand there's a lot you want to get out on TV and out in the public, but at some point you start sacrificing quality of segments. Am I saying anything wasn't great? No, but you start sacrificing that quality in that short amount of time when you try to jam pack it with 20 different things and hope for the best. Do I think we could have seen... I think you could have pushed 5 and 10 versus Red Dragon to Dynamite next week.
Yep.
In my opinion. That would have been fine. In some of these promos, like Fuego's promos, I guess I don't know what it did besides basically set up House of Black versus the Dark Order. That's kind of what it did. And now that made my creative juices go flying because I'm like, oh, what if some members go to the House of Black, which is not going to happen. But, you start thinking things, right?
Right.
But there's just so many things that I think they could have just shifted around a little bit to relax Rampage a bit because they got so much going on. The
opener, Archer and Dustin, I usually talk about how great they are. I would have rather seen Archer come out because we haven't seen him again for a while again in the middle of somebody else's match and just decimate them and walk away. No disrespect to Dustin, but he looked rough in this match. Rough.
Yeah, and I'm kind of surprised he got the win.
Yeah.
Which was something to me that I was like, that doesn't make any sense to me. Especially if you're pushing Archer as a monster, but you've basically done 50-50 booking with him and Rhodes now. Yeah. So now is there a payoff coming at a later Dynamite, which is fine. Okay, great. They're going to wrestle again, but did it need to happen? I don't think so. But I don't know. Maybe.
Do you feel Dustin is on an island by himself now? Like, he's friends with everybody there, but, like, what's he have to do with AEW?
A little bit. I think unintentionally, the whole Cody situation has put him in that scenario. And I'm not saying that to take away from what Cody is a free man. He can do whatever he wants. And but Dustin's unfortunately going to feel that ramification from it. Because who brought him in? Cody.
Yep.
He went there to be with Cody. Yes, he has a ton of friends there. Yes, he has more freedom. He's a coach, whatnot. But I just feel like the larger company up north is going to be somewhere he could end up at the training facility and be a coach at. Not in the near future, but it just feels that way because I think the whole move of Cody moving out puts him in that scenario of, I'm kind of alone here. I have friends, but I'm alone here type mentality. So you're right. It's kind of like an island for him.
Yeah. And then the main event was essentially Swerve against Starks. Starks with the win. I don't know if that was right booking again. Like, Rampage just didn't do anything for me. It wasn't a title match. Swerve is just your new big guy that uses Amber Rodriguez's, face care products to build his beard up better, which he says legit on the podcast so that was a little bit knock on Swerve Scott from her.
Yeah.
They're good friends, by the way.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know. And then it was just to push Keith Lee again. I don't know. I just thought Rampage was just a major cluster.
I feel like they could have booked a no contest for the Swerve one because you're building up Swerve.
Yeah.
Build him up, get him in a good spot. I know it's played out the no contest and the DQ thing, but I think you can do that. I, for one, thought when he got bum rushed by Hobbs that the ref saw that.
I did too.
And I'm like, wait, he didn't see that? How did the ref not see that? It looked like he was looking straight at him. So
yep.
I was confused by that portion of it and how Starks gets the win there. I felt like there was a major miss. Maybe, I'm hoping we get a storyline with the referees in this where they're just not seeing things. I'm not saying they're going to fight anything, but somebody's just going to come in and go, you guys are missing a lot. You're looking straight at things. You know what I mean? Just something to kind of play off of, because they've mentioned a couple times where the refs were not in the right position. And I love this about the commentary. They do call out the refs sometimes or call out when they're good. But I feel like it's more and more, and it feels like they could do something with that. And that's just me doing a booking thing for referees because I don't know why. Because they have don't have enough going on right now. Let's be sarcastic about it. They don't have enough going on in AEW. That why not put the referees in?
Who do you bring back out? Mike Chioda that can critique everybody.
They brought him in before to do a match.
Yeah.
Why not? I mean, nothing against Chioda. He's not doing anything right now, from what I understand. So he's kind of retired. I mean, things with WWE moved on. But why not bring out Chioda? He's a respected name. People know him.
Yeah.
Could do it.
He could be, on football when they have the replays and who the hell do they go to? Sal Palantonio is in my head right now, but it's not Sal Palantonio.
No, shit. Yeah, I know who you're talking about. It's like Gene Steratore or something like that.
Yeah. They go, hey, Gene, what did you think of this? And like Chioda could say, wow, man, they really missed this right here. And then that's the whole entertainment part of it. That would fit in perfectly with the Jackass Society.
I would love. I agree with that with the Jackass Society. I completely agree because then you can have them after the match just be like, "Oh my God, did you see this? What do you think? And why didn't the ref see this?" Because if it's me, I'm seeing Hobbs running down somebody. Sorry, Hobbs is a big boy.
He is a big boy.
Love Hobbs, but he's gonna. If I see him running, I'm gonna notice him. So,
yeah, your peripheral is taken up by Hobbs.
Yeah, exactly. You're gonna notice Hobbs running at one of your competitors in the match. So I feel like that would be a great way to do it. I didn't even think of that aspect, Mark. I like that. Add the commentary, Chioda as commentary. That'd be kind of. I would pay for that. I would pay to see that.
I would. Damn Tony Khan, we're just writing shit for you.
We are. Even if they only did it at the pay-per-views, I think that would be funny.
That would be funny.
Because it would be a special attraction. Make it for the title matches or something like that. But yeah.
Well, anytime that he would be at commentating, something's going on. So you'd have to leak him into commentating for a while and him not say anything. Him just giving his perspective, and then he just goes off one time saying, "This is bullshit. That there needs to be authority here that can run this. And if I see something wrong, he comes down and he throws Aubrey Edwards out of the way. You missed Hobbs or Wardlow running it. Yeah. Come on.
Think about that. To that point, Mark, you could do it like they do. He's in a special studio in Los Angeles or something. You know what I mean? And then just be like, "Hey, real quick." Introduce that we're going to have Mike Chioda as a special commentating referee about different rules and different things that we see during the match. Great, you introduce him. you know he's there, but you don't use him right away.
Yes.
And then you get into the pay-per-views, and then you're like, this was such a big match. We have Mike Chioda here. Mike, what did you see, or what did you think of what just happened? And then you could go into that. So I think you introduce him first, let him sit, stew, don't use him right away. Maybe once or twice on Dynamite just to kind of say, okay, he's there watching. And then you use him when you want him. He doesn't have to necessarily be in the arena, but could be in like a backstage area or something, just zoned off or something. You know what I mean?
And it's a big title match. Paige and Cole, again, maybe, or something like that. And he actually, they called it to Chioda, and he's like, no, overturn that. That was wrong. And shit, yeah. All right, well, we're booking that way ahead of time as well.
Yeah, we are. So, Tony Khan, hire Mike Chioda, and we'll get that all straightened out for you.
Yeah, we'll set it up.
We'll set it up.
All right, Jenks, let's give the rest of the show to WWE. We've really been slacking on them, but this is the week that we need to step up and let's talk about some stories, what's going on. WrestleMania is Saturday and Sunday. Let's break, and then you bring us back and talk Mania week.
Hey everybody, this is the sexy fireman Jason Tyler, and make sure that you follow Can Crushers podcast everywhere on social media, and make sure you're up to date listening to all their podcasts wherever you get your podcast.
Welcome back to Can Crushers podcast.
Woo!
Woo!
Yeah. All right.
Now we've blown out everyone's eardrums.
I know. I sat back like it was going to get out of my headphones, but it didn't. It went deeper into my soul.
We may want to record a warning at the beginning of this.
Yeah. Episode segment 3, you will need to turn down your headphones.
Be aware.
So it is WrestleMania week, and Jenks, it almost, to me, it snuck up. I mean, we've been talking about WrestleMania since day one. But yeah, I waited all week to get that in. By the way,
can you insert a clap on that one?
I could if I wanted to, but
okay.
Come on now. I got a tournament to run later on today. We've been talking about WrestleMania since day one. That one was just to reset my brain. But it seems like, holy shit, now it's WrestleMania weekend, and now we dive into this. First and foremost, I wish I was in Dallas this week. Yeah. I want to do a WrestleMania week where it's at, but not be there for WrestleMania. Because I want to be home for WrestleMania. Because my friend, you know him, he's been on a podcast before, Pat Lupino, went to it when it was in New York City. And he might as well have sat at the Last Supper table with God, because that's where he was sitting for like $150 a seat.
Yeah.
I want to watch that on pay-per-view. I've always said I think I'm giving up going to pay-per-views anymore, because the shit that happens back scene and this, you don't get to see that unless you're at home watching it anymore.
Right.
And I like the commentary. You don't get that. So I'm all right not going to a pay-per-view anymore, I think, in my life. Or I'm just old and crotchety. I don't know.
Well, I would agree with that, because
that I'm old and crotchety?
That too. That's a given. But anyways, when I first did the 40, I wanted to go to the Big Four. It's all I wanted to do. Plus, because Cody never took me to the Rumble in Pittsburgh, didn't tell me when he was getting tickets. I lost out on that. I just wanted to throw that in there for him because he's going to listen later.
That would be one I would never go to. I would never.
The Rumble?
Ever. No.
Why? Okay, why?
It's my favorite one. It is my, WWE-wise, it's my favorite pay-per-view. I want that experience where I'm comfortable. I want that experience where I see everything I kind of just named. Like, if you're going to give me a front row seat at WrestleMania, I'm going. Yes, I'm going to go. But if you give that to me for Rumble, I'll be like, no, that's mine. That's mine. I usually don't invite anybody over. I want to sit and watch that one by myself. It's my cleansing time.
I get that. I think for me, I want to experience it once, but also with these bigger arenas, has made me more hesitant to go to them, because you don't get that close proximity. If it was like a normal venue, like normal
like
arena,
a Peterson Arena,
or like even the what is it, PPG Paints, Center in Pittsburgh. If it's like that, perfect. I'm there. But now with these bigger arenas, you're right. You're sitting far away. You're touching the hand of God at that point,
Right.
depending on how far you are. And then they put up the big, massive structures, and it's going to obscure the view because they need the lighting in the ring, so that they put up these fucking structures.
Yep.
So I agree with that. Now that we've seen that expanded, I actually took it off my list. I changed it because that's too much. It could be a great atmosphere, but you lose a lot of that. So you're right. You want to be at home, comfortable, losing your shit, because I do jump when a lot of things happen.
Yep.
I did it this year. I tried not to do it this year, but I did it a couple times and hurt myself again. But that's a different story. But it's now that they've moved into the bigger arenas, it kind of takes away from that proximity.
But that's why I want to be there for the week of. Like, I don't know about even going access, because access you're shuttled through, Pat said. But I'd want that experience once. I'd like to do access. It's the week of, I don't know, like 2 days before WrestleMania, there's 900 fucking wrestling matches in Dallas or around that area. Where GCW's here, Beyond Control's here, this one's here, Shimmer's there. You have to pick and choose
where you go.
But you are fulfilled with everything that you want. There's death matches on the corner right next to Starbucks, but then there's, true technical wrestling down the street by the casino. You can have it all. I do want that. But Saturday morning, I'm jumping on a plane to get my ass back home.
Yeah.
So
get in the red eye, get home.
Yep.
So you can get a nap in and then watch Mania that night.
Nap?
I get that.
That'll be just a weekend of Red Bull. And those little bumblebee caplets. I don't even know if they sell those bumblebee caplets anymore. You remember those? That you used to buy at like a convenience store?
About those. Yeah.
I think they're still illegal. I don't know.
They probably are.
Yeah, they should have been. No dose is what got me through the first year of college. My very, very first year, no dose.
As always here on Can Crushers, we do not condone drug use. Just want to throw that out there.
We don't.
But,
back to wrestling again. Goddamn brain today. Drinking Drano and popping it off with no dose.
Are you just going to name the episode Schizophrenia?
I think I don't know how to spell that, so maybe.
Shit. I don't know either. I got to look at my old...
Hey Siri, how do you spell schizophrenia?
Schizophrenia. I have it on my old wrestling music case because I had that 3 CD thing that had Mankind's, and his theme song was Schizophrenia, so I'll have to look for it. But
you also said badass about 25 times too, so badass schizophrenia.
So badass schizophrenia, I like it. Sell it. It's on.
I better write that down or I'll forget in an hour. Yeah. Badass schizo.
I was going to say, if you try to spell schizophrenia, you're not going to know what the hell you're talking about.
I know.
All right, wrestling.
Yeah, wrestling podcast. What are we going to see tomorrow? And we kind of joked about this off air real quick during the last teaser. I think this is a very promo-heavy week, Jenks, across the board. Especially on... I think my wife just sent how he spells schizophrenia. Nope, she did not.
I would give it a 5 to Kelly if she did that. So
definitely Friday. We can jump back to Raw here in a minute, but Friday we have a couple matches already announced, and I think those are going to be the big players on Friday. Otherwise, I don't think we see anybody in the ring together. Brock and Roman. I think a lot of stuff is cookie cuttered to make sure they don't get hurt, essentially, a day before, because Roman's driving, a cement truck or this, that, or the other.
Brock's karate kicking security guards off announce tables.
Right.
I mean, they got to protect Brock at this point. He's just unhinged. So
literally with doors too.
Oh my god.
I know.
All right. Yeah, but you're right. It's going to be promo heavy because you got to protect the pay-per-view. Mania's 2 nights. Got to protect the cards. So yeah, it's going to be promo heavy, which is fine. I mean, as long as they tell a good story with the promos.
Right. So. Right. And we'll go back to Raw now, and we'll cover like a little bit that happened this week. Stone Cold Kevin Owens was fucking phenomenal.
Oh my god, it's so good.
Right.
Are we surprised? No. What? Okay, go ahead.
I didn't expect Stone Cold to be there. Okay.
Right.
So when the music first came out, I thought, okay, it's definitely Owens coming out, but I didn't know he was going full Stone Cold with,
I didn't know that. Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, the headgear that he had on and all that. So I marked out. When the music did it again, after he got done doing his shtick for 5 minutes and people are pissed off at him, and the music hit, I thought, they just fucking pulled the wool over our eyes. He's actually there, wherever the hell they were, Vermont, or I don't know where they were, but nonetheless, I'm like, holy shit. And then he just starts laughing. That motherfucker got everybody in that arena, everybody at home. Yeah. I'm excited for this little transaction that's going to happen. It's going to be Kevin Owens getting his ass beat, but I'm excited for it.
Oh, yeah. They pulled the classic Shawn in Montreal when he played Bret Hart's music 15, 16 years ago. That's what it reminded me of, that segment. But to that point, Owens, I think we're going to get a good 7 to 10 minutes of ass whipping. And I'm not saying it's going to be like a match per se. I think it's going to be a back and forth type of ass whipping. I think they're just going to beat the shit out of each other at the end of the program.
Well, that's the thing. And this is where I'm going to stir the pot because we have time. I mean, we can dive into what really else happened in Raw and everything, and we'll get there.
Right.
For months, it was Charlotte and Rousey headlining night 1 of WrestleMania.
Yeah.
They are not headlining it now. And I think because we spoke of this last week or even 2 weeks ago, it doesn't feel like it's that big. It doesn't feel like it's that big between what they're doing with Rousey, Ronda, and Cody's going to call me out on that one, with Ronda and Charlotte. It doesn't feel big, so they're putting essentially a promo at the end of night 1 of WrestleMania.
Yeah.
What does that say for your buys? What does that say for the talent on night 1? I'll pull up. Night 1, you have both women's championship matches. You have Mysterio, against The Miz and Logan Paul. Why did I even forget about that? You have
Drew bet on that match, by the way. We'll get into that later when we do predictions. But yeah.
You have Drew against Happy, and then you have the Usos against Shins and Boogs. What does that say that none of them are essentially headlining Mania, that you have to bring Kevin Owens to do a job to Stone Cold?
Well, we'll throw out there Becky and Bianca are night 1 too.
Oh yeah, I forgot. And I think that's going to start WrestleMania.
I think you're right on that because that's going to be a hot start for them. It's either that one or it's Edge and AJ are going to kick off WrestleMania.
That is not, because that is on Sunday.
Oh, I'm looking on WWE site and it says Saturday.
Unless they changed it, because Wiki has it on whatever.
Okay, I'm on WWE site and that says Saturday now.
Oh,
and they only have 5 going Sunday right now. Interesting, but
what else can you add? There's nothing else.
There's nothing else you can add unless they do Finn and Damian, because I don't think the U.S. title is getting defended at any point right now during this week.
No, because they're both in the Andre Battle Royal.
That's right, they are. You're right. I forgot. Yeah, you're right. But yeah, they're not going to put them unless something happens in Andre's. But to your point, they're not going to. Yeah, what are you going to do? Yeah, Becky and Bianca would open night 1 unless they go Charlotte and Ronda to open night 1.
Wow.
Because here's my thing. Night 1, you have to. Everything I've heard from different podcasts and that first match has to ignite the crowd.
Agreed.
It has to get the crowd hot. So I can't see, saying what I said earlier, I can't see putting Charlotte and Ronda there because that's not going to ignite that crowd.
No, not at all. But if you're putting Becky and Belair there, you have to have the rest of the matches and then have Flair and Rousey, because you cannot have those piggybacked.
No.
First of all, you're screwing the women then, essentially.
Yeah. Exactly. You have to bookend the matches. There's no way you can put them back to back, because after Becky's promo this week, which was phenomenal, I think that's the red hot feud. That's going to overshadow Charlotte and Ronda anyways on night one.
Yep.
But if you put them back to back, nobody's going to remember Charlotte and Ronda.
No.
And it goes back to that old adage. I think it was Jericho who mentioned how insulted he was that him and KO were second match on WrestleMania the one year, when he thought that was the best storyline going into it.
Well, of course, any wrestlers, I think their storyline's the best. But yeah,
I get that, but I'm not going to disagree with them.
No,
I kind of believe that because what they had going on, Festival of Friendship and all that BS going on, but you're basically just taking the women's side, the SmackDown one, and shitting on it.
Yeah,
at that point, because you're putting it in a position where it's not going to succeed behind Becky and Belair. That's going to be fired, and it's not going to. It'll be great at the end. I hate to say it, but it's almost starting to feel like that match that's going to get the crowd settled down, and so they don't wear themselves out for the Stone Cold thing at the end of night one.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. It feels like that's where they're playing it.
Yeah, I completely agree with that, and it's no fault to Ronda or Charlotte. I just look at this week's promo between them of Flair not being there, and if you didn't know, Flair's was recorded, and she paused for those minutes for Ronda to get her words out. Everybody stumbles. Listen to this podcast. And Ronda stumbled a little bit. She got lost. She got lost because I don't know what that promo did for either of them. And then the tape is still playing of Flair, and what she said in response made no fucking sense. But it was already recorded because maybe Flair was, who the hell knows? Yeah. She wasn't there. This is what they had to do. And I just, you even hear the crowd, they're happy to see Ronda, but they're not really giving a crap because the writing's on the wall that she's going to beat her.
Yeah.
I think. Now I'm pandering.
I don't know if she's going to beat her.
That's what I mean. You would think that's what they brought Ronda back, to take this title. That if it was Ronda Becky right now again, and I'm going to say this, I think that should headline night 2, because I think that's really what we wanted when Ronda came back, was Becky.
Well, that's what everybody wanted, because the unfinished business was with Becky, not Charlotte.
Right.
Charlotte and Ronda they were done. Nobody cared about that. We want the Becky Ronda one-on-one that we have been promised since Becky became the man in 2019.
Yep.
And we have not got it.
We did not get it, and we're not getting it again.
No.
And it's kind of like sour grapes. It almost feels like, to me, they needed something for Charlotte to do this WrestleMania.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So we have some injuries still with Lacey and Bailey, and where the hell's Asuka, besides kicking my ass on 2K and, things like this.
Yeah.
There's some big players that are out. So, all right, let's bring Ronda back. She wanted to come back. And now, oh my God, this feud with Belair and Becky has taken over the women's division. What do we do with Charlotte? Well, we have to put her with the next biggest thing, because I just felt like this is now forced on us, and I don't know if it's going to get the perception that WWE wants.
It's not, and I just feel like with Charlotte, you're booked into a corner with Charlotte.
Yeah.
You put her on such high a pedestal, whether people think she should be there or not, that you really can't go any lower, and I'm not saying lower in a bad sense, but you can't go lower than Ronda. It has to be Ronda unless you fully transition Charlotte into being that person that puts people over, which she's clearly not.
No.
And I don't know. There's nothing to do. Unfortunately, they put Charlotte on that high pedestal that it has to be Ronda, or it has to be a big name player, or it doesn't work.
I'll even throw. I wouldn't even want to, and Sasha's one of my favorites. Even if this was Sasha Flair, Sasha just came back. She doesn't, air quotes, deserve the title, even though she's been 6-time champ, 7-time champ, whatever. She's not in that storyline yet of getting back on there.
No.
If anything, Ripley, because I think there's unfinished business with her and Flair.
Agreed. Yeah, Ripley would be the only person I think that would be set up. But then again, because they've diminished the value of those tag titles for the women, I don't even know if Ripley's there yet.
No, I know.
Back there yet. They've taken her down a peg, way down a peg, unfortunately for her.
Yeah.
It's been questionable booking after questionable booking, and you booked yourself into a corner where you put Charlotte on such a high pedestal that you just lose what you wanted to accomplish, or what you were hoping to accomplish.
Yeah, I agreed. And sorry we just shit on Charlotte, but that's just essentially what it was.
It was, but that's just how it is right now. That's how it feels.
Yeah.
And I'm Charlotte. I'm taking it because you know what? I'm a bigger name now. I can't fault Charlotte for being in the position she's in.
No,
I can't fault
not
her
at
for
all.
that. But it's just the way they've booked her that there's nobody there that can touch her because of the way they booked her.
Do we need Charlotte to take a break?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think my personal opinion is, if we won't get into my predictions, but if Ronda beats Charlotte, Charlotte's gone for 6 months until SummerSlam.
That'll
my thought.
Yeah, because
if that happens, then Charlotte's gone for 6 months.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they did the whole skit again with Rollins and AJ, which they did last week with Rollins. Never thought. Last week I thought maybe there was a possibility of Rollins beating KO to get that, and I'm like, and was I going to be all right with it? I don't know, but whatever. I didn't think a chance in hell of Rollins, because I understand Rollins, Edge have their thing, but that's been done for me. That is nail in the coffin. I don't need it again for a while.
Yeah.
If they would have taken AJ out, and there's no possible way you're taking AJ out of Mania after what, he just resigned, Do you feel this was generic booking as well? Again, we're putting a lot of time on WWE this week, and a lot of it is we're shitting on it a little bit, and I don't mean to, but it's been generic booking going into your biggest pay-per-view.
I get, with what's looming on the horizon, I feel like that this is the only way they can do it, is they have to play the how is Seth getting the Mania approach, and he's taking different people's spots. But you're not going to I just feel like, again, they booked it into a corner. You're not going to have him face, Nakamura, or you're not going to have him face
Boogs.
Austin Theory, or Boogs, or Sami Zayn to face Johnny Knoxville. That doesn't make any sense. You know what I mean?
Right.
And he's not on SmackDown, so I can't see him put into the Drew McIntyre Happy Corbin scenario. So I couldn't see that to begin with. So they've kind of had to just pick and choose. And honestly, I do commend WWE for picking great matches to have to kind of build that suspense up. Because, hey, they gave us KO and Seth.
Right.
And they gave us Seth and AJ. We knew what the outcome was, but we're at least getting good matches out of it. And going off of that, I don't know if you saw the tweet that's happened over the past 12 hours or whenever it happened, but Vince McMahon's calling Seth to his office Monday morning. So now we're going to find out everything that's going to happen, and I feel like they're going to announce the opponent Monday on Raw.
They'd have to, right?
They'd have to. And it could be that they extend it out the whole night where, hey, I met with Vince, and he's going to find me an opponent, and they're going to play that for the entire night, and then at the end of the night, we release that, hey, it's Cody. You know what I mean? But I feel like they'll play it off on Raw, but they finally got to that point. Again, though, going off of that, Mark, they're rewarding him destroying the set where they would have suspended Brock.
Exactly.
So where's the sense in that?
I don't know.
I guess we could see what happens with this meeting or whatever. Meeting, and I'm putting in air quotes. But, if you're going to reward him but suspend Brock, how does that make sense in the long run?
Exactly. There's got to be some fluency across the board. And it seems like there hasn't been. We know this. I mean, we're talking to a wall right now, essentially. Yeah. Other things, the whole Mela Vega thing, I mean, I don't know which one of the other 3 tag teams is going to win the titles. Mela's not walking out of Mania with a title.
No.
She's on her honeymoon. She's off until the end of April. I know you don't put a lot of stroke or clout into the women's tag team titles. Vega's still the queen. She can do the things by herself. But to have these titles off air for a month because Mela's nowhere to be found, honeymoon, that's cool. Congratulations. So Mela's gone. So that's another player out of the women's side. We have to get returns. Do we get returns at Mania or Monday or both?
I'm thinking possibly both, but I feel like it's going to be Monday. It's going to be WrestleMania after week, Monday and SmackDown, Monday and Friday, because that's how they do it, right? You know, if you're gonna bring back Bayley, she was on SmackDown, so you bring back, although she's a free agent, right. So I guess it depends, but I feel like you're going to get some returns Monday, you're going to get some on Friday. That's just the beauty of how WWE's book things, and people eat it up. I mean, I eat it up all the time. Am I
for sure
watching the night after? Hell yeah, because I want to see who's coming back. What are they going to do? How's WWE going to go forward on essentially, and we can call it fun, call it not, day one of the WWE calendar. Because it is the yearly calendar. It really resets at Mania and begins day one is that first Monday after Mania.
Yeah, that's the new season every year.
Again. Exactly. That's the new season. That's how you get to where you get to next year.
Yeah.
So
right now, Bayley returns Monday. Who's she feuding with?
I think
don't give your winner away. If you think she's going right after the champion, just say champion, because we'll get to the predictions here shortly.
See, here's the thing. I don't know if she can go after a champion because I feel like you want to put her in a position that she builds herself back up or she gets a couple wins under her belt, right?
Right.
So my feeling is she's got to be gunning for, I don't think it's tag champs, but she's got to be gunning for at least a higher level name. I'll say Rhea right now. Maybe Rhea, maybe Liv. Maybe that plays into my predictions a little bit, but I think she guns for one of them because that's the upper tier. Or do you put Asuka and Bayley together night one and let them get back at each other?
I'd be all right with that. I really would. I would be. That would be my favorite booking for both of them returning.
Because what would you get out of it? You would get this. Bayley comes out, says, "I'm back," basking in her own glory, Keith Lee. But then Asuka comes out, steals her thunder. You have Bayley something to just bitch about for the next month and a half, until the pay-per-view.
Yeah, until whatever the hell, Backlash after Mania. Yeah.
Mania Backlash.
Whatever.
So Asuka, yeah, right. But Asuka stole my spotlight, stole this, stole that. You build that feud up. It writes itself at that point. And the history's there.
Yeah. Agreed. Before predictions, anything else on Raw that you want to bring up? RK Bro, I guess.
Yeah, they won. I already mentioned Becky's promo. I thought that was great promo against Belair and not willing to sell her soul line. And it was beautifully done by Lynch.
Yeah.
But again, we talked that to death. But yeah, RK Bro won. Does it mean they're retaining that Mania? I don't know. I feel like I have a prediction for that, and you're not going to like it, but we'll get there.
We'll get there, and
we'll get there.
We were so off. We thought it was going to be Randy and Riddle at Mania. Yeah. I'm not saying it can't happen because again, the matches at some point there's 11 matches booked right now. That's an odd number.
Yeah,
literally an odd number. I don't mean it like that, but literally an odd number. It's one night with 5 matches, one night with 6 matches. Throw that Stone Cold thing in there as well on night one, so that's 6 segments at least. But I don't know, because we know there's a lot of other shit that's going to be scattered around here.
Something's happened WrestleMania Sunday. I don't know what it is, but there's got to be. I just feel like there's one more match to be added.
Yeah. And
That's my personal thought.
And it could come from. Oh, no, never mind.
Night one.
Yeah, it could come from night one.
Yep.
Transition over to SmackDown for the week, and I have a lot to bitch about, okay?
Right.
A lot to bitch about. Brock's just hanging out in Roman's locker room, okay? Roman's nowhere, and this is just me being petty. Okay. Roman gets to the fucking venue with 15 minutes left in the show. What's he need a locker room for? What does he need? Why is he bitching at Brock? People are leaving. You didn't do enough to have to shower. What do you need a locker room for? Why do you care that Brock's in there? Who gives a shit? That was the biggest thing. And I'm like, okay, at least he's going to come and they're going to feud back there. Brock just destroyed the locker room, and that's all we saw of it. Roman never put his foot, or what's the word I'm looking for? Stepped foot in the locker room. So why does he care that he's in there? You order all this food. The Usos weren't even in there.
No, they never touched it. They never went near it.
I don't know. That's just me being stupid.
No, I completely agree with you. It didn't make any goddamn sense.
There it is. 13 minutes left in the show is when they pulled into the back stage. Then we went to commercial.
Mark, is this a case of we're just not rich enough to have this as a luxury for us? Where we can just show up late, not care that we don't consume this food or use this locker room?
Apparently.
You know what I mean?
Apparently.
We're not in God mode. We don't have that luxury.
No. I need a locker room. I need a locker room at your house, Jenks. That's what I need. I need a locker room
in the basement
at your house, and whenever I need to use it, have it be the once or twice a year that I come up to Parts Unknown. I can just look at it. All right, that's mine, and then just leave. Not use it. It's still here.
And you're gonna make me put food in there and drink and all that
every day because you don't know when I'm coming.
Yeah.
By the way, Brock in this locker room was fucking fantastic. He didn't have to do anything but break tables and throw shit, and I was like, oh, I loved it.
I just love this Brock character. There's nothing more that I love than this Brock character right now. It's so good in wrestling. There's more, but like just the way he's acting is fantastic. It's fucking great.
Yeah, he's really given his soul a sense to the business.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the Ricochet, Garza, and Humberto thing. What a shitty way to set up a triple threat match.
Seriously.
He loses both of them?
That was so dumb. Just for him to win next week, because you can't tell me that.
Oh, yeah, he's not losing the title to these jamokes. No way.
Yeah, Los Lotharios are going to win. I don't even know how to pronounce that properly, but Los Lotharios or something like that are going to win this? No. God, no.
Yeah. Well, is the writing on the wall that they're going to be done already? Because is one going to screw one over just to get the Ricochet kick to the head and the other one gets pinned while the other one's smoking a cigarette on the outside of the ring?
I think that's exactly what's going to happen here. Because they're not going to like each other afterwards. They're going to cost each other the match.
So we just throw another tag team away, which we don't have enough of.
But we do that anyway, so why not?
Yeah. I know.
Yeah.
Other than that, I mean, SmackDown was all Roman getting there and Brock. We did have a couple matches. Ridge against the returning King Woods. That I didn't know.
I didn't know he was coming back either.
No. Which, good. Does that mean they get thrown into the match, maybe? Or were they actually in the Andre? I mean, they had the Andre Battle Royal picture up for half a second.
Yeah.
The only ones I saw were Finn and Priest.
I don't know. And now you're making me pull it up here, but that could be night 2 match. Is that because the original plan was to have New Day versus this group at WrestleMania.
It was going to be 6-man when Butch came around.
6-man. Yeah, exactly. But let me see.
All right, so who do you take out of it then? If this is the match that they throw on there just because, maybe because it's something that happens on SmackDown, they're like, oh, we'll make this match on Sunday. Cool.
They're not even in the Battle Royal.
Oh, there you go.
So they're wide open for it.
They are wide open. But who sits at Mania? You're trying to push Butch. Ridge is the one that essentially is carrying this storyline now for, I hate to say it this way, but breaking Big E's neck. Sheamus would be the odd man out, wouldn't he?
See, I think they'd put Butch out. That still bugs the shit out of me. But I think they'd leave Butch out of the match. I think they'd have, you know what, I'm not calling him Butch. They'd have Pete Dunne outside the ring. Sitting out. They would have, I think they put Pete Dunne outside and don't have Pete Dunne in the match.
But involved,
obviously involved, but he's just going to be on the outside and he's just going to be menacing on the outside.
That would make the most sense. It really would.
Yeah.
So it's going to be Butch and Sheamus in the match, and Ridge is going to be on the outside. Watch.
I don't know. Yeah, probably.
Or we're not even getting this match.
You're right. No, you're right. Or it's going to be a handicap match. Friday night, they find a way to make it a handicap match.
Yeah, possibly. That would actually make sense then. I would be all right with that. I don't know.
I think they could do that, but who knows?
The Fatal 4-Way of the women between Ripley, Baszler, Vega, and Sasha. I like this little match. It was a little bit of a tease, but as I always go, because I don't think you will not see these women this week on SmackDown. So Sasha gets the win. I think that means that they are not winning. That it's WWE booking. They are not winning the tag titles. I would be shocked.
I would be too. I have it narrowed down to two teams, and they're one of the teams.
I see. I have it narrowed down to one team.
Okay. They're one of the two teams. I'm not saying that I'm picking them, but if I'm picking two of the most likely options, they're one of those two likely options right now.
Okay. And again, predictions coming, folks. Predictions
coming. They're coming.
They're coming soon because I don't really have anything else. What else do you want to talk about on SmackDown? Sammy talking to Johnny again for
the 900th time. And by the way, they're going to do some stupid shit in that match.
Oh, yeah.
You know it. Anything goes. There's going to be some dumb shit going on in that match.
Well, how many of the jackasses show up? Can this be a side bet?
Oh, God. They had 3 at Rumble?
Yeah.
They had Wee Man, Preston, and somebody else. I think you go 5 because I think you include. I'm trying to remember their names, but I think 5.
Yeah, I think so too. And we'll get
the other ones I could think of, but yeah.
But yeah, that's essentially what's happened on WWE in the last 2 months.
Yeah, that's it in a nutshell.
So let's start breaking them down. We'll go night one. We'll go
right.
If you want to do from the way that you have it, I'll close mine and then. Okay.
Yeah, I just pulled up WWE. So this is going to be in no particular order. I think they went the heavy hitters first.
Oh, clearly.
Yeah. So.
Oh wait, are we going double or nothing? This is a bigger pay-per-view. I will put the 6-pack on the line if that's what we're going to do. What?
So you're trying to get a 12-pack out of this now? Or are you just putting a 6-pack on the line?
Or yeah, it's just who owes the other person a 6-pack. I'm not double or nothing. That's a dickhead move. Yeah. Who owes a 6-pack the first time we see each other?
I'm perfectly fine with that. Let's do it.
All right. So I could either defend or you could still owe me.
Still owe me. Yeah. All right. So night one. Actually, I'll work my way up from the bottom, so we'll go bigger to smaller to bigger. Night one. SmackDown tag titles. Usos, Shinsuke, Boogs. Who we got?
I don't see. This is probably going to leak some of my other things. I don't see the bloodline completely leaving yet. And I don't see. You don't see the Usos involved a lot as much. He's just hanging out with them. But I think taking the titles off of them right now hurts their clout being with Roman. And this is a whole, family thing. You guys know how it's been working for the last year now. I have to say, the Usos retain, but it's not done. I think this is another match that shows back up on WrestleMania Backlash, and possibly there they'd lose them. But I don't think they lose at WrestleMania.
Well, this could be the difference, because I'm going to pick Nakamura and Boogs, and I'm going to say I think to your point that you just kind of made, they're going to be looking for redemption in night 2 to redeem themselves in the eyes of Roman and the bloodline. So I think they lose the tag titles night 1, they get shame put on them, and then they're trying to build themselves back and put them in a better place for night 2. Because I think, to your point, you mentioned that, not to your point, but I think the Usos play more of a supportive role for Roman going forward than they do anything else. So I think we see it reset. Nakamura and Boogs, whether you like them or not, they've been a mainstay, and they've been in the Intercontinental title picture. They've been on every SmackDown. They're in everybody's houses, and unless Boogs is turning on,
they're not
Nakamura
in my house. They're not in my house.
I know they're not in your house, but unless Boogs or Nakamura are turning on the other, I think they win the SmackDown tag titles.
Okay, that's going to separate us, I bet. Go ahead.
I think it is.
You can do the next one and then go first.
Okay. Drew McIntyre, Happy Corbin. Drew McIntyre. There's no way Happy Corbin's winning this match. I hope it makes him go back to bum-ass Corbin, but it's probably not. But I think Drew McIntyre wins.
100% everything you said. I really want bum-ass Corbin back as well.
Somebody posted a clip of bum-ass Corbin, and it just made me miss him even more this week, and I wasn't happy about it.
Okay.
All right, next match, and one that I have a side bet on with my girlfriend, Rey Mysterio and Dominic versus Miz and Logan Paul.
There's no possible way the Mysterios lose this. There can't be, right? What do you do? Where's this go then if they lose? Unless it's the turn. If it's the turn and we're going to get Rey against Dominic, and we thought it would possibly be now, and maybe it's going to lead up to SummerSlam. I mean, writing's on the wall that Rey is stepping away soon. At least that's what we think.
Right.
Can they build this up into? I mean, it's still trickling around. Can they build it up? There's enough legs to build the SummerSlam. Sure as shit not going to happen at Backlash or your mom's next event in your brother's house or anything like that. You got to give Rey something big as a send-off if Dominic's going to put him in retirement.
Yeah.
But I can't see how the hell it happens to have Miz and Logan Paul involved. So Mysterio's with the win.
Yes, I'm going Mysterio's win because of my bet, because of everything you just said. There's no reason for Logan Paul and Miz to win this. I think they're just there I think Miz is there to take the loss.
Clearly.
I think Logan Paul maybe punches out Miz.
Do we see the Mike Tyson turn that actually Dominic and Logan Paul are buddies? And,
Maybe.
he get to rip out the shirt of when he joined DX.
Yeah. That might not be a bad move. We could see that. I just don't see Miz and Logan Paul winning that. And I hope that means I get a free dinner out of it. So
I hope you get a free dinner then too. So
thank you.
Is the girlfriend watching WrestleMania with you?
We are going to watch night 1.
You better watch night 2 as well, I hope.
Well, we're going to watch night 2, but we won't be together night 2.
Okay.
So we'll be together night 1. I'm watching night 2, obviously. But we're definitely watching night 1. And she's pulling for Miz and Logan Paul. She actually liked Miz and Mrs. reality show, and she knows who Logan Paul is, so that's why she's going with him. So.
That's probably the same reason why Kelly's going to be rooting for him. Next match.
Okay, this is the one that's different on what you saw on Wikipedia and the one I see here. So Edge and AJ showing up on night 1 for me. We can put it to night 2 if you want, or we can.
I don't care. It doesn't.
Edge and AJ, this one is tough for me. I think it's one of the tougher ones for me over the course of WrestleMania weekend. Right now, gut feeling, I'm leaning towards AJ, but it's not a good feeling. if that makes sense. I like the whole new Edge gimmick, theme song, judge, jury, executioner type thing he's got going on here. I'm leaning AJ. I'm not completely sold on it.
So how the hell do you want me to write that down? AJ question mark?
Go
So
AJ.
you can
Just
change?
I'm putting it here. If you're making me, I'm picking AJ this week.
Okay. And I'm going completely opposite.
Okay.
I'm going Edge. Because of
right.
this grave dead man type of thing we have going on with Edge, the boogity man or whatever. We talked about this a couple weeks ago, Jenks, I think, that Edge is, I'm not saying he's going to be the Undertaker, but he's going to be the guy that comes back. WrestleMania, he's going to do this big match, destroy AJ, he can end this feud, comes back SummerSlam or maybe earlier than SummerSlam to start something up with somebody else. I just think there's something always there that Edge is going to be the one brought in and out as he's the bigger guy now as that's left as a legend. Yeah. So I don't understand if AJ gets the win. AJ's always around the title picture. He doesn't have to be on Mania to not get a championship match next week. I don't know where this goes if AJ wins. Because then you have Edge still there. Do we get a rematch of some sort at Backlash? I don't think it's needed. I think this is just to get Edge on the card. AJ's there. Put on a great match. By hook or crook, Edge gets the win. And I think there is a lot of hook or crook in this match.
Oh, there's going to be something going on. What it is, no clue. But I would agree with that. That's kind of where I was leading. Because if you're going to get this new Edge persona over, you have to, I would assume, have him beat AJ. That's what I was thinking a couple weeks ago. As I keep him on it, I feel like AJ needs the win.
Oh, I think so, too. But it's still coming off of Omos, for the love of Christ.
Omos, exactly. Yeah, coming off of Omos. You're talking about, you mentioned he's in the title picture always. Yeah, that's true, but he doesn't feel like a credible threat. I think they have to give him an Edge win or a no contest in this for him to be not back at his normal level or where we had him before, but more in a sense of, okay, he's more of a legitimate threat at this point. I'm not saying it's no contest. I'm still going AJ, but that's kind of where my mindset goes. Something has to happen here to push it into that realm.
I could see that.
Push him into that realm. So
could it be Omos because he's not around for Mania, and sure as shit they're not going to have him not be on Mania for something.
That's true. Was he in the? No, he's not in the Andre Battle Royal.
Oh, we didn't do predictions on that. Do you want to make a prediction who's going to win that?
Yeah, we could come back to that.
Okay.
So the 17 combatants that are listed on the article I'm looking at now: Apollo Crews, Commander Aziz, Eric Ivar, Priest, Benjamin, Alexander, Tozawa, Gulak, Reggie, Jinder. Jinder, by the way, is Hulk Hogan's favorite. Shanky,
yes, I posted that. Jinder Mania.
Yeah, I did see that. Mansoor, Madcap Moss, Robert Roode, and Finn Balor. If they don't insert Omos, because 17 is a very weird number to have in a Battle Royal, who do you think wins this?
Damian Priest.
Going Priest. I'm going to go...
This is not part of the bet, by the way, because it's a Battle Royal.
No. Yeah, it's a Battle Royal on SmackDown. I'm going to go Finn Balor. I think they give him the title unless there's some hook and crook with Priest, but I can't see the rest of the tag team division losing in this match, which is basically that. I think the tag team division and the 24/7 title division and the two people that are in the U.S. title hunt.
Right.
That's what this match is. So I just can't see anybody outside of Finn or Damian winning it. I'll go Finn just for the sake of being different.
Just to be different? Okay. All right, yeah. Back to Mania.
Let's jump over let's go through it. KO show. I think pretty much we'd be on the same page. It's not a match, but I think we both assume Austin's just going to basically get the better of KO.
Stomp a mud hole in him? Yes.
Stomp a mud hole, walk it dry. Everything's going to happen. So Austin, KO. Probably one of the things I'm looking forward to the most about Mania.
At 12:30 at night.
At 12:30 at night. It's going to be fantastic.
Yep.
SmackDown Women's. Let's go there because I think we both agreed about the Raw being better than SmackDown. Better build right now. Charlotte, Ronda, who you got?
It was 15 minutes ago, essentially, when I said this, and I don't know, because I've given it thought. I've given it too much thought. I don't know. For me, the writing's on the wall. It's got to be Ronda, and Charlotte goes away for a while.
Yeah.
But is it going to do anything? No. I think it burns SmackDown more than it helps, but I'll still have to go Ronda.
Okay. I'm going Ronda too. I don't think this match is made for Ronda to win and made for Charlotte to walk away for a while. I think we get a rematch at SummerSlam between the two. But I'm going to go Ronda on this one. So, final match of the night, one, Raw Women's, Becky, Bianca. My opinion, I'm going Bianca. I think they close this and make it full circle. I think she's the first person to pin or beat Becky in 3 years, I think it is, which is astounding. Even you can make your comments about her being off, but that's still an incredible feat in terms of Raw women. Yeah, I know. I think she's lost 1 or 2 tag matches or something along the way, but I think this is Bianca. I think she's back. They're not going to name somebody new for her. This is Bianca's match to lose. I think it also sends Becky into what I mentioned, I think a couple months ago now. Becky gets into a year-long funk where she's trying to get back to the title, and this builds the Ronda Becky on SmackDown next year for Mania for the women's title. So that's my choice.
I see exactly what you said. Seth is traded and Becky's traded whenever the hell the shakeup comes, because that's essentially right around the corner then as well. Because they normally do stupid stuff like this, big events, and then boom, we're going to change the shakeup, and now everybody has no fucking feuds going forward. So yes, I see that exactly. Belair only gets cleared Friday night or something to be able, and Becky's going to come out Monday, I think, gloating that she doesn't have an opponent, the opponent, maybe they're like, we'll try to find somebody, but then Belair gets cleared Friday and Becky's not ready for it. I don't think I hope it's not, I'll put it that way, 26 seconds to start Mania. That would piss me off. I think we need a match.
Yeah, I don't think it's full circle. I think you have to go match at this one. I do think there's going to be an extended program after Mania between the two. It's got to go to at least WrestleMania Backlash. Yeah, I think there's a return match after that. But,
I agree. So far, so good. Okay.
Yeah. Actually, you know what, Mark? While we were talking, I realized I know what the 6th match probably is on Sunday. So we're gonna go there first, if that works.
Sure.
My prediction is, I believe Seth's match against Cody is Sunday. So, presuming it's Cody Rhodes and presuming it's not anything big or surprise, who wins that match? Because I think the rumors were that was going to be WrestleMania Sunday. Was that night 2? It was going to be a night 2 match.
It's got to be Cody.
I would assume so.
Winning, I mean.
Right.
How do you bring him in and... No disrespect to Seth. He's one of your biggest stars, but he just gets awestruck or something. And this is the match that I don't think it is quick. I mean, I don't think it is long. I think Cody, bing, bang, boom, does some stuff to Seth. And I think you get more of a lunatic, yes, pun was included, of Seth going off that he was set up, or maybe not Sami Zayn, conspiracy, but, Seth snaps a little bit more.
Yeah.
So
I completely agree with that, and I have nothing against that. I think you're right. It probably could be a short match, or, maybe they make it a longer match, which I would be fine with.
But I'd be shocked by it.
That's fair. But I just feel like maybe it's a shorter 3-minute match, 4 or 5-minute match on night 1 or night 2, and WrestleMania Backlash, we have the full blowout of it. But I agree. It's got to be Cody. You can't bring in Cody Rhodes as a surprise and not have him win it.
Right.
That would have been like bringing the Hardys back at WrestleMania 33 and not giving them the tag titles when they came back. That would make absolutely no sense.
What Cody are we getting?
I think you get the full Nightmare. You can't hide that tattoo anywhere. So I think you gotta go full Nightmare Cody at this point.
Yeah.
I would.
Gold would be able to cover that up, though. Just saying.
I was gonna say I don't know what the Stardust paint job could do to hide that tattoo, but I feel like we're gonna get normal American Nightmare Cody Rhodes at this point.
Good. Minus Brandy. Minus
Brandy, or maybe she's there. I don't know. But I think if I'm looking at it from my perspective, Cody Rhodes made himself a star as the American Nightmare outside of WWE.
Yes.
That's your attraction. You have to bring that version of Cody Rhodes back.
Agreed.
You can't go back to mask wearing Cody Rhodes, dashing Cody Rhodes. That's what I was looking for. Can't go to Dash wearing Cody Rhodes. You can't go back to Legacy Cody Rhodes. You can't go back to Stardust. You got to bring the American Nightmare because that is a whole different entity and person as a whole.
But over a couple years, you could get the 5 faces of Cody Rhodes in one battle royal.
In the Rumble, man. Let's do it.
Yes.
I want to see it.
All right. Go ahead.
All right. So we talked that. Let's go Knoxville, Sami Zayn. Get that out of the way. I think I'm first, right? This time.
You are going first.
Yeah. Good Lord Almighty. I feel like Sami Zayn's got to win this. I don't see why they would give it to Johnny Knoxville unless they just want to piss off Sami Zayn some more. I'm going Sami Zayn, but if anything goes, and it's going to be a fucking insane match.
Yeah. If Knoxville wins, what's that do?
Exactly. Besides getting Sami more conspiracy theory things. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But it doesn't lead to anywhere. You know, a conspiracy theory against Apollo Crews can lead to something with anybody else. Cool. Knoxville beat him. It's Sami's winning. I have nothing else to say about that. It's going to be a shit show. You're right.
It's going to be a shit show. It's a stunt.
Yes.
There's going to be multiple stunts in that match that Johnny Knoxville will be performing.
Yes.
And probably half the Jackass crew at some capacity. All right. Let's go women's tag. So Queen Zelina, Carmella, Sasha, Naomi, Rhea and Liv, or Natalya and Shayna.
All right, you already know that the team that I want to win would be Carmella and Vega to keep it just for a lengthy title reign for these women I'm always going to want clout on these titles.
Yeah.
I'm never going to get it. I think Sasha has built-in feuds returning at some point. I think that's where we see Bayley possibly. Her Asuka still have. I mean, there's enough for Sasha to do, and I'm one to say, and I think you said it too. I think Sasha's a part timer now. She's got a lot going on. She really does. She's in movies, this, that, and the other thing. So to put a title on Sasha again, the tag titles, what made her and Bayley that they fought for, to put them on with somebody else, Naomi or something. I don't know. Doesn't seem right. Ripley just had the titles with Nikki, and it didn't go well for her. That storyline sucked. It wasn't there. Liv is always still mentioned as a player once in a while, but Bianca stepped back in. Do we see more Liv in the next couple months? I think we do. So essentially, your new tag team champions are going to be the Hit Squad, or whatever the fuck they're going to call themselves, of Nat and Baszler, because they don't have anything to do.
Okay.
I really have no clue. I mean, there's people in here that just don't need to be in here.
Agreed. They're just getting a WrestleMania match. See, my thought was I think Natalya and Shayna were just thrown in there for something to do at Mania. My two teams that I had it narrowed down to were Sasha and Naomi, Rhea and Liv. I think they do give it back to the belts back to Rhea and her and Liv's run with it, because Liv Morgan hasn't had a title in WWE yet. I think they're reluctant to pull the trigger for her to get the women's title match. So I think this is their option to put titles on Liv to see how the crowd reacts. And putting her with Rhea really builds them up. They have a lot better chemistry, I think, together than what Rhea and Nikki ASH did.
Touche.
Now, if it was Nikki as Sanity Nikki, I think that would have been a perfect combination for her and Rhea, but it wasn't.
Right.
So I think this makes sense. I think to your point, Sasha's a part-time player. Naomi, Naomi's out there. She's got things going on I think everything's wrapped up mostly with Sonya. I don't know what's going on with that, but I think Naomi's got other storylines they can be a part of. Carmella's gone. Queen Zelina's going to be there, going to do her own shtick. I personally just think it's Rhea and Liv that are going to take these tag titles and run with them, just so it gives Liv a championship run, and then they can make a decision off of that to pull the trigger for Liv in the women's title picture.
I like
I'm not
that.
saying give her the titles, but I think that's how they set it up.
I like that. That makes some sense. I'm still not going to change. I'll
Right.
stick with what I got, but it does make more sense. But I don't know.
It's tough. This match, I feel like this match is tough because you don't know what they're going to do with it because they don't put the cloud around the women's tag titles.
Yeah, because they don't care. Exactly. I would not bet if this wasn't for funsies or anything. I would not make $1 bet on this match.
Agreed.
Not at all.
Completely agree. All right, let's go to the other tag title match. The Raw tag title match, RK Bro, Street Profits, Alpha Academy. I think it's my turn next. I'm going Street Profits. I know you're not going to like it, but I'm going Street Profits here. I feel like them and Alpha Academy are the direction forward for the tag title defenses. I think it's a big weekend for Bianca and Montez. I feel like they go forward with tag titles, at least until WrestleMania Backlash. I also believe RK Bro, the turn comes Monday. It's got to be coming at some point. Something's going to happen, especially with this release of the WWE Evil doc that's out there.
Yep.
I just feel like there's a turn coming, and something's happening at Mania, and Monday we're going to see the turn. So I'm putting it on the Street Profits and the Alpha Academy and Street Profits going forward.
100% agree with you. And as much as you say I'm going to hate it, because an article came out that you're going to see the Street Profits have it for, I don't know, a couple months. Mm-hmm. And Dawkins is either going to get hurt or they're going to break up or something, because Ford is getting a push. Ford is going to get a mega push. And this is, I'm not going to say they're irrelevant, but this is to say, okay, they're tag champs again. They're on TV more than they've been because they've been a little lackadaisical.
Yes.
Well, RK Bro and the Alpha Academy have had the titles. They just made this big return. This is the way to bring Ford back into the picture of a major singles run, and it will happen by the end of the year. So I completely agree with you. Yes, go ahead.
No, I think that's a great point. I think something happens in 3 months' time here, 3 or 4 months' time, where we see that push for Montez.
Money in the bank.
Money in the bank. There you go. And I mean, I like Montez. I think he can carry Ford as a singles competitor. I think he's a future star. I don't think it's as the Street Profits character, though, because I feel like he's outgrowing that.
Yes.
A little bit, actually a lot. So I feel like once he makes that turn, once we get down the line here, Montez is going to go to the moon, not like Cameron Grimes, but I think it's just primed for him. I think he's ready to get out of this tag team. Nothing against Dawkins, but he's ready to move on.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, some people just outgrow their stuff. Dawkins can still be a great Street Profit the rest of his life.
Agreed. I think we get a more serious Montez Ford going forward.
Yep. Okay.
All right.
You were shocked about that.
I was kind of shocked by that. I like that you went out of your comfort zone on that to pick Street Profits.
Yeah.
It's all or nothing here. So winner take all unification match: Viking Brock Lesnar or Roman Reigns. Who's winning this, Mark?
I really want Brock to win this. I really want Brock to run amok with this. I don't think it's going to happen, though. I think because what you said with the Usos needing to come back, even though I have them continuing, I think they get involved. I think this sets up things for Roman down the line. I still don't understand how we're having a unification match of these, but we're still going to have 2 titles on different brands. Are we going to have the Ultimate Championship, and then there's going to be a Raw Champion and SmackDown Champion that never cross paths, but Roman's going to be able to go to, I don't know, fucking New Japan to wrestle with this if he wants to or whatever. That's essentially what I think they're trying to do, is build this new title of whatever it's going to be, just a giant W on something. I don't know what the hell it's going to be.
Right.
But as much as I think we both want Brock to win, and I really... I'm okay if Roman continues, as long as it plays in this whole bloodline thing. And I still always say there's only one payoff match for me that needs to happen, and it's got to be The Rock. It's got to be The Rock. I think it's went to the wayside a little bit. I don't know. But who takes it from Roman? Drew Gulak? Come on. Brock's the only one, but I don't think it happens.
It's not set up for Brock to take it.
Right.
I'm throwing it out there now. I can agree with you. This is Roman's match. It's nothing against Brock, but Roman's your path forward. Brock's probably going to go take a hiatus. There was reports that came out earlier this week that he considered himself retired after he lost to McIntyre in 2020. And he somehow came out of retirement 16 months later, or whatever it was.
Yeah, was this whole run of Brock, like his swan song that he just said, fuck it, I'm going to have fun with it? And we don't know this?
It could be. It could be like Austin, where he retired after the Rock match. Nobody knew that going into the Rock's match, that he was that beat up and that injured that he was going to have to retire after that match. So I'm not saying Brock's injured or anything like that. I'm saying this was his swan song to say, I'm going to leave now. I've made my mark. I fought Roman. He's put over Roman the last time. Roman has never beaten him at Mania, I don't believe. He's beaten him at SummerSlam, but he hasn't beaten him at Mania.
I'm sure we'll get that stat 500 times on Sunday.
I'm sure we will. I think that's a valid point. I think so. This is Roman Reigns, the ultimate way to put over Roman Reigns. And let's be honest, at this point, Brock Lesnar is Roman Reigns' greatest opponent in his career. Yep. And it's been a hell of a ride. And if this is Brock's ride off into the sunset, I can't wait for his Hall of Fame induction.
I agree.
When it happens. It's Roman to win it, and this is probably Brock's final goodbye. The Cowboys riding off into the sunset.
No more Brock shit.
No more Brock shit.
But let me be that devil's advocate. And we'll wrap this up soon, folks, because I know it's longer than normal, especially the last couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Where the fuck does Roman go then? He has literally destroyed everybody. What do we do? Does Cody get the shot real quick then? I also said that Damian Priest is being built up to be in that picture, which is good. Bob's nowhere to be found on WrestleMania.
Yeah.
But Bob's on Raw. We almost need that stir up quick, because who on SmackDown is a viable opponent for Roman after Brock is gone, which essentially isn't even on SmackDown?
I think the only opponent that he has right now, and it's a stopgap opponent, is Drew McIntyre.
Yeah. Do we get that again for 6 months? That was maybe the whole pandemic.
Yeah. Quite possibly.
I don't know if I want to see that.
I don't know if I do either. I can't. I mean, I love Drew McIntyre, but I don't want him swinging a sword around. I don't like the sword swinging Drew McIntyre. I like the previous Drew McIntyre. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do.
I don't want this comedic shtick going with Drew McIntyre. I don't want that. I want regular Drew McIntyre, the one that beat Brock at Mania.
Does Cody get a push that fast? These are all questions we'll have to answer. It won't even be next Sunday's podcast, because these are all Sunday matches.
Yeah.
we'll dabble on what happened Saturday night. But again, I don't think we're going to go full bore into it because some people are going to, I heard actually some people are going to watch all of WrestleMania on Sunday. They're going to let Saturday happen and then start Saturday so it ends by the time it starts Sunday. That's
they're
ridiculous.
Nuts. They're absolutely crazy people. There's your psychopaths.
Right? Badass psychopaths.
Badass psychopaths. So, yeah, that's absurd. But, yeah, I don't know. We're not going to know for 2 weeks. We're not going to discuss for 2 weeks. And honestly, I'm going to make this prediction now, Mark. Next Sunday's podcast is probably going to be AEW heavy for a bit. Because not much is going to happen this week. There's going to be promos.
Yeah, for WWE? Yeah, for sure.
It's promos. We're not going to touch Mania next week. So it's probably going to be AEW heavy next week.
Yeah. Maybe we'll have somebody join us. Just talk something. I don't know. Now I'm just bullshitting because I don't have nothing planned.
Yeah. Unrelated, since we just mentioned AEW, I forgot about this. They're actually having the tournament qualifiers for the Owen Hart Foundation next week. They're having a match next week.
Yeah, it's about time.
Dynamite.
I'm excited.
It is about time. They're getting the qualifiers together. There's a mystery opponent involved with the bunny, so I'm assuming that's a person debuting. But so we're going to probably talk that. We're going to discuss that. But I think next week we're going to be rolling off of Mania and trying not to spoil anything.
Yeah.
Talk about it.
Yeah. And if something major happens, clearly we're going to, touch or whatever. I mean, that's just the way we are.
Yeah.
But Saturday's not, you look at the card that you have in front of you. Saturday, I'm not saying it's just the women. It's the women, and I think the writing's on the wall for both of those. And if they slid Edge over, if they didn't, I think that's going to be the match that's going to give us a haul. Because the tag matches, whatever. Drew, Moss, whatever.
Yeah. Stone Cold beating Kevin Owens' ass.
But that's going to be awesome.
That's going to be awesome. It's going to be nostalgic, but it's not a match.
No.
Type thing. Yeah.
Not at all. So it's WrestleMania weekend, guys. That means TV usually sucks because they have to build up for the pay-per-view. AEW is out there. Maybe we'll be able to see what's going on with Impact next week and dive into some of that, especially with the whole Chelsea Cardona and Aldis and James. Maybe something will roll off of that, and we'll be able to talk about that if it's posted or we can find it from the Guam TV network.
We'll get that bootleg network going up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I promise, guys, there will be tournaments this week. Like I said, after I get done editing this, that's going to be my afternoon of getting tournaments up. One will be one day, one will be the next day. When should I shoot for this, Jenks? Should I try to do one and post one tonight? But people are not going to know that I'm posting it because they're just listening to the podcast.
Yeah, if they're not listening, you don't have a lead time there, but you got to give it a night. Maybe if you can do it tomorrow, great. Now you have interviews, so you can't do it tomorrow.
Yeah, Tuesday
then. Tuesday it works.
And you're going to get both of them on Tuesday then, actually, because the rest of the week is... here's my schedule. Interview tomorrow, 5 o'clock. Nothing Tuesday. Interview Wednesday and Tattoo. Interview Thursday. Interview Friday. And MLB The Show comes out Friday, so I will be disconnected for a few hours.
A few?
And then it's WrestleMania, Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah.
I probably won't even see my family this week.
Good thing you went out with them last night.
See? Planning.
Planning ahead. Quality time ahead.
All right, Jenks, I love you. Everybody in Can Crusher Nation loves you. I will talk to you, but I'm sad because I want to know this. Are you going to be involved in texting on Saturday night, though? I think you should not, if I'm going to give you my opinion.
I don't think I will be because I'll have to be talking through Mania with the girlfriend this is her first wrestling experience. So we were going to try the Rumble. She's getting her first hand at Mania. So
what a way to come in. What a way to come in.
God,
God, and she's a Miz fan. I'm a Miz fan, but she likes the Logan Paul as well.
Well, she knows them. I mean, if you know the people, you're going to stick with them. So.
Right. All right. Again, we got nothing else. We're just rambling now. So, Jenks.
Like always.
Yeah. Do you got anything else?
No, nothing else. Love you, man. It's gonna be fun this week.
Yep. We'll stay in touch, and who knows what the hell is going to happen. It's WrestleMania week, guys. Enjoy wrestling. For the love of God. Stop bitching about it. If you don't like it, cool. Just turn it to some other channel.
Exactly.
Remember, just because I'm trash, really, doesn't mean you can't do great things.
You're a garbage can, not a garbage cannot, Mark.
Peace!
Peace!